Guys, to the Archon Team League Championships. We have lost Crib momentarily, but Amaz is here with me, replacing Ecop as the guest caster. Who would have thought you're guest casting in the Archon Team League? That's kind of amusing to me. How are you
Yeah,
doing,
I
man?
guess. Oh, there we go. It's coming back,
Oh,
kind of.
yeah.
But yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Trip.
hey, what's up?
Okay,
Yeah, I had,
good.
had to do some stuff, but yeah. Before I ended up crashing out, I did mention that we finally crowned our loser, Team Celestial. It's really big news for Team Archon, as we don't have to fly them in from
Wow.
China.
Ouch. I mean, I don't think you ever crowned a loser. That's kind of
What?
that's kind of mean, but man,
Okay.
that last series was pretty brutal.
Yeah,
The stomp.
all the way through, no mercy.
Right. But yeah, I'll be
Well-
joining you guys now because production guys are really good now. Give a big shout out to production crew and the admins, of course. And I'm free to cast with you guys, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and well, your team's up. What do you think
Yeah.
of your team, Maz? Are they good? Are they good at Hearthstone?
I think they are pretty good. One of the
Okay.
best ones.
Right.
They were pretty sad that they weren't at the top. But they're close to. I mean, the standings. I think they're second place or something, just for tiebreakers. So hopefully they're going to win this one. But Cloud9, of course, they're very strong players. Ekop is actually one of the best performing players in this league right now, which I don't think everyone expected. So we'll see what decks they bring this time around.
Yeah, you guys had a really nice week last week. I think you took a win against Value Town, if I'm not mistaken, which actually set you just ahead of them with the pretty good lead that you had on them. So
Yeah, actually, we kind of crushed Kibler's undefeated record, and now he's like 9-2 or something. So
Yeah.
he's still in the running for
He's still the best scoring player in the
Yeah.
league.
Yep, best one, Master
Okay.
of Duels, man.
Master of Duels.
That's the
Okay.
prize you want to win. Yeah, he's doing really well.
yeah, I can't believe he's gonna have like a longer name that he has, like Brian Kibler, Brian Kibler Gaming from BMK Gaming, Master of Dragon Duels. It's gonna be kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Oh,
he
it
can
will.
do all that if he wants. But yeah, I mean, Team Archon is doing really well. Cloud9 is, well, they have the same record. There's 4 teams that are 3-2. Cloud9 is at the bottom of that list, and Archon's at the top of that list. The point differential is important, but getting those wins is really important, and obviously that's what they're aiming to do here. But with most of the scores in the tournament so close, it really goes to show that all the players involved, they're at the top. Like if we expected a really good result over this many games, over this many weeks, this is kind of what I think most people were hoping for. Very close together scores, so I'm pretty happy about that.
And the series themselves are actually very close. So except for the last one, which was kind of one-sided, but most of the games go to the 10th game, even the 11th game. So shout out to the format. The guy who made the format. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to
Awesome
him,
guy.
whoever he is. Like, what nice idea you had there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know in which direction it is. I think it's that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying it. I think it's a different change from like the other Hearthstone tournaments, which are all like kind of one-on-one and whatnot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I agree. Like, I think it's one of the coolest events that's ever happened in Hearthstone up until now, and I've enjoyed it a lot. I think we've had only like 2 near sweeps with the match today and Team Liquid last week having a really rough time. So, yeah.
Well, we're almost there, right? We're almost there where we see the full, complete sweep.
Yeah, it's coming.
You think we'll see one? It seems really unlikely. Like Celestial got smashed by the RNG gods in that last round.
Right. But I guess Taylor also messed up the double execute thing. Like, as soon as I saw it on production, I was like, oh, he's going to mess it up. Because it's like, it's something that doesn't come across your mind too often sometimes.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
it's too bad.
Well, sometimes that does take place. Well, let's look at the lineups here. Let's talk about some of the classes that that each team has brought here. Cloud9 and Team Archon. Well, we have Priest again from Kolento. I don't even think it's the first time he's brought Priest to the tournament. And we mentioned how Ecop says it's one of the worst performing classes. Why you think he gets away with that because he's Kolento? I think Ecop's just like, yeah, all right, you can bring it.
Well, okay. I'm just gonna say that partly why Kolento is playing Priest is because you have those really, really strong classes like Warrior, Warlock, Hunter that somebody else has to play, right? So their strategy might be that okay, at Cup you can play these classes that are pretty simple and they are pretty core, I guess, and that you know the more complicated classes, the 5th and 6th pick, I guess, with the Paladin and Priest would be, you know, led to the stronger players maybe, because I mean you have to play 6 decks, so
Yeah.
you have to pick some of those weaker classes.
All right. Well, pretty good analysis. Speaking about analysis, we have another super special caster spotlight for you guys. While he isn't here, he will be here in video form. We have one for Monk. So let's take a quick look at that, and when we get back, we'll jump right into the games.
Hi guys, this is Monk from Team Liquid. I do a lot of things in the Hearthstone scene. I'm a caster, used to be a player, I'm the manager of Team Liquid, sometimes a translator, sometimes a tournament organizer. You know, I'm just all over the place. I definitely play the game. I think as a caster it's important to keep playing the game, keep being up to date with the metagame. And as for favorite decks, I would have to say, like, I love the Tavern Brawl decks. I've been like playing those a lot. And especially, like, I've been trying to, like, really put some time into Tavern Brawl, and I figured out, like, the best way to play each deck, and I've even been crafting my own Tavern Brawl decks. Maybe I'll show you guys in an article sometime, or maybe I'll even run a Tavern Brawl tournament. That sounds pretty fun, right? I think with this league, as with any other leagues, it's really important to actually put some preparations into the league. I know, like, for example, in a lot of other leagues, some people just kind of blow it off, especially some leagues that have invite players and then open players. You can definitely see that the open players definitely prepare a lot more for the league. Well, to be honest, I actually do think a lot of people don't rate Team Liquid that highly when you like have to compare the 8 teams, but Team Liquid actually has a really good history of doing well in team leagues. For example, in the Kingwin Pro League, we did Show made it to the playoffs. He got 4th place, I believe. Savitz was 1 point away from making it to the playoffs. And also in the PvP Live League right now, both Nyria and Show are, I believe, in like Nyria is like number 2 right now, and Show, I believe, is also like in the top 5-ish. So yeah, I definitely say Team Liquid, but also I have to give a shout out to the Foursome boys. I think a lot of people watching the league, a lot of people playing Hearthstone, they really want to get into esports, and it's not like necessarily such an easy thing, but it is something, if you're passionate about, you can actually make a good living out of it. I think a lot of people do ask me, how do I get into esports? They look at players in the scene, they look at people who are not necessarily players like myself. And I have to say, everyone pretty much has their own path to get into esports. You just have to find something you're passionate about, maybe do something that isn't really paid right now, like you maybe volunteer for a site like Liquid or a site like Archon, and work your way up from there. And eventually, if you put the hours in, if you're really passionate about it, you can make your way up there into like one of the big stars of esports. I think one of my biggest strengths as a caster is that I really know the scene really well. I know the history, I know what everyone's playing, and I think it's really important to impart that knowledge to the viewers. Tell them, because the viewers, they don't have all the time to watch Hearthstone games, to watch every Hearthstone match. So you kind of are the I guess the portal between all those matches and the viewers. I'd have to say, like, right now I'm in a place where I'm really happy about who I am and where I am. Alright guys, this is pretty much the biggest league, almost like the biggest Hearthstone tournament that there's ever been. So guys, if you want to support Hearthstone, if you just want to watch some awesome games, if you want to support the teams, guys, check out this league. It's going to be amazing, I know it.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed that little briefing from the Monk. Getting into our game here, Cloud9 versus Team Archon. What do you guys think these guys should open up with? We've seen mostly like just strong decks in the openers so far. You kind of want to get like on the board early. Is that kind of the idea? Like, you never really see like a team open up with a priest.
Well, It's not as though many people brought Priest in the first place. I think the only players that played it is like you have Dog, Gara, and I think Shocky one week where everybody was just mind blown because he decided to bring what we just wouldn't ever expect him to. And it never quite worked out. So I expect people to start with all around good classes. And Kolento's probably bringing out Grim Patron Warrior. So
Yeah, I think
Grim Patron versus
momentum.
Mage.
Momentum is just a very important thing, and you do have to win with all the classes at least once. So you might as well just start with the best one and crush your opponent so that they get benched, they get worried about like should I switch now? What happens if counter picks and whatnot?
Yeah.
Just let the other person worry about that stuff.
All right. Well, it is probably gonna be Grim Patron. I have seen Firebat bring Freeze Mage, I believe, in the past. Has he brought anything besides that?
No, he's been bringing
No.
Freeze Mage every single week, and I guess Team Archon agrees that I was kind of like listening on their discussion that polarized decks such as Freeze Mage and Patron Warrior, even though they might just kill themselves sometimes by drawing bad, you have so many games in this format, and also because everybody needs to bring 6 decks, that Mage will have some good matchups no matter what, right? They can only bring like one Warrior, like so what, right? And one Hunter, so that's only 2 good matchups, and you have the other good 4. So Freeze Mage is like auto pick for them.
yeah,
I
it
have
makes
to say,
sense.
Firebat looks amazingly comfortable where he is right now.
Doesn't he always though? I think I always see him just look really laid back, casually piloting, Freeze Mage, setting up turns 7 turns ahead. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm in my
I
living
actually
room.
like this hand from a mage. It's just like annoying garbage that warriors actually have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to play early on rather than just ping your opponent's face.
Yeah.
Those are really
Which
good.
you don't want to do really anyway in this matchup. So
And these cards are a lot less useful later on.
Yeah, especially against Patron Warrior, right? Where they can actually,
Right.
come back to bite you with like frothing Father to make them bigger, or like just Grim Patrons and whatnot. But this matchup really relies on 2 things, I guess. One, a Freeze Mage can actually bring Malagos and actually just, burst the opponent down because, usually Freeze Mage just runs out of damage against a Warrior, right? But if they are not going to bring Malagos, they tend to run the Fatigue route, where they just remove every single threat from the Patron Warrior and kill them with Fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're really able to do that just because of the mage mechanics with a lot of stall in general and just stopping that crazy combo with Ice Block. Well, we probably won't see it this game because both Frothings are already out. That 80 damage Frothing combo does actually get stopped by a mage with Ice Block.
a mage, yeah. So one thing to note as well is I think Kolento is one of the few players that I've seen who actually always plays his Frothings as tempo. Like I remember very rarely Kolento just keeping them and being greedy with them. He tends to just smash them on the board and see if they get answered. If they don't, he stands to win the game on the back of it. And right now, that's working.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
is
working
this
really
like-
well.
Is this like lethal next turn for Kolento if Firebat decides
Yeah.
to kill one?
Yeah,
Like, it's
I mean,
just
he's gonna have
over.
to Ice Lance. He's gonna have to Ice Lance one, right?
Yeah, he does
Or
have to Ice Lance.
What if
or
he
he's
Ice
dead.
Lances face?
Oh,
Right.
that makes sense too. But then the Frothing just keeps on piling up, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
he will
know.
wins, and then you're kind of in a bad spot.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the hand started well for the mage, but then it slowly went downhill. If you pick up Fireball or Frostbolt, you're good to go here.
Yeah, not those.
No.
This is really
Wow.
dangerous. So I guess you just ping the 6/2 to like 1 health so that the Deathbite kills it. And you just freeze it. Yeah, that's a lot of
And then a
aggression.
Rampage shows up.
Oh yeah,
No.
Well, somebody.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Crip says he's seen it, and I believe Crip.
Well,
I
yeah,
like-
Crypt, don't you play at like rank 20 or something?
Oh, Futshired. I didn't hear this.
Actually, when I saw it, it was actually a game where I was testing like the deck overlays, so it was like a rank 22 game.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty
So, yeah,
solid.
that's pretty accurate.
But it was on Tempo Storm's site. They had like
Oh, okay.
so
This is
like
getting
Directing
better.
the shots. Okay,
yeah, it's
I
getting
see.
better all the time.
So
Fireball pickup works here.
yeah, but you're still very low on health. Luckily for you, at least you've got some defensive options, and the Patron Warrior from hand without Frothings can't quite kill you on turn 6 unless he has played, Coin Emperor. So I think he's gonna be fine. But then again, there's still a lot of damage coming up. You know, you have to deal with a second charge of Death Bite.
Ice block's not bad.
Ice block is not bad for later. But yeah, Emperor's gonna come down, and it's gonna be even more pain for Firebat to keep up.
Casual
curious
damage
here.
from frauding.
Do you think the ping face is good, or do you think you maybe ping the creature?
You ping the creature and you give them a battle rage
Battle
out,
rage.
I guess.
Oh right,
So,
yeah, that's really bad. That
I
is
don't want
really
to do
bad.
that too much.
I don't want to do that at all.
There are matches against, as you know, you mentioned the fatigue thing. Sometimes you will ping stuff just to increase the amount of cards they draw, but since he's so far ahead, you really can't afford to try that game out just yet.
Well,
I mean,
you
you're
know,
basically just screwed here. You have to fireball the Emperor, right?
yeah. So yeah, Firebat is gonna go to the try and fatigue Kolento out, but no secret up, and also at 10 health, it's looking really, really bad.
Well, Kolento doesn't have lethal quite yet.
Yeah, and the patrons won't stick since Flame Strike's in the hand. Firebat could still come back. It's not over yet. Like, without the...
Oh, almost. You need another one of those.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, maybe Kolento just develops a lot of patrons here, I guess.
What do you think about just patron development, you think?
Well, you didn't see like a Frost Nova or Blizzard or whatnot. Flame Strike might happen, I guess, because Flame Striking last turn didn't make sense. So I'm not really sure. Otherwise, you're not playing anything, and you have two
What?
patrons anyways.
What about just patron and not attack with a weapon? Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
that's
the patron is such a big threat, and you just see two fireballs.
yeah, makes sense. Now, if you're Firebat, what do? You just Flame Strike and just cross your fingers.
Man,
Yeah.
this is so... Do you do Iceland's Face?
I guess if you're afraid of like the Warsong combo, yeah,
I guess the fear was real because that play was instantaneous.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, still alive.
Draw all your deck. Pass go, collect $200.
Pretty much. That is 4 cards.
Oh,
There's a
battle
lot
rage
of stuff on the
sometimes.
board.
Yeah.
Oh man. What Firebat needs here is
more fun. There's another whirlwind for even more fun. Oh man, this is so exciting.
Yeah, and the thing is, Nova doesn't really save him, because if a War Song comes out and an AoE crops up, then you're not quite out of it. You might have to play the double secret game.
It doesn't even need an AoE, he just has the weapon. Like if he just gets a war song, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it spawns additional patrons. And
Yeah, the only way you can stay alive is with ice block. So I guess you ice block, you hope to get oh, I guess you can ice block Ice Barrier and then force a little bit more outs from your opponent. But the idea is that
yeah.
next turn you'll have to ice block again probably and flame strike top deck.
right. Yeah, I
and then
guess.
Alice yourself.
Oh man, it's really, really difficult, right? I guess.
But
yeah,
it's
Ice
possible.
Block-
It's not
actually,
impossible.
Blizzard works because it'll spawn more patrons to get frozen instantly. So he would still live even with Blizzard, right? Unless they change the way that worked.
Yeah, no, they didn't change it yet. I
Okay.
believe maybe with TUT, but yeah, Kolento needs to find 1 damage here. He's actually 1 damage off lethal. Still 1 damage off lethal actually.
That's pretty amusing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's looking for Warsong Commander, so I guess you could try out the Acolyte of Pain, slam it, draw 2 cards.
Oh, then you
then
can cast the War
you
Song, right?
can't
You just
play
need to
it.
You
slam.
can't play the war, yeah.
No, but he
It's
has
just
one
so-
more cruel task as well. So you can get 2 draws at a
Oh,
cruel
yeah.
task or 1 draw at 2 war songs. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same problem you run into at the end. Is- Well, he's just gonna play it. I want to say slowly, but at the same time, it's not that slow. But the amount of armor he's got, in itself, it's a problem. But the board on top of it is just devastating.
Yeah.
Well, this spawns 1 less patron, but it gives you the opportunity to play the draw, which I guess is a decent trade-off. And you get the armor because you played the armor smith, so that's fair. Patrons getting in there 1 at a time.
It's good for Firebat though. He gets to buy an entire turn, and he really desperately needed it. This acts as another ice block, basically, that he didn't expect to get.
Oh man. It's still horrible though.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Although this is already a very good matchup for the patron. Usually games don't go like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Emperor. I don't really see what that does. I mean, it makes stuff cheaper, which is nice, I suppose, but it doesn't really help to win the game too much, does it?
Well, you need a Frost Nova or like a freeze plus an ice block, and then hopefully Alex draws yourself after they hit you with a weapon, plus another freeze, I guess.
And then the question is, how do you win? Because you still haven't solved that question, right? Like,
Let's
you still...
solve how do you survive this situation. Yeah.
One
That's
problem at a time.
Pretty interesting. Why do you think he's choosing a Frostbolt there? Doesn't he need a board clear to stand any chance at all anyway?
Force double trade into the Emperor, and then that means there's one less patron to Whirlwind, so at best... I really don't know. I don't think there's any reason. I don't even know if...
Maybe keeping the Frostbolt is better, because you can, like, you know, Frostbolt the face later, if you can attempt to freeze your opponent's board.
Or combo.
Yeah,
That's
something
nice.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's just... At that point of the game where... It's looking super grim already. The war's sitting at 42 health.
It's looking grim. I see what you did there, boss.
It's much higher than that now. That's 46.
Jesus.
And I mean, even if you get a board clear, that's another 5.
Firebat's draw is just... I mean, he had plenty of draw. If there was one thing he had this game, it was card draw. What he didn't have were useful cards.
Yeah.
Off the draw, so...
Well, you can go with Acolyte, ping Acolyte, and then drop the ice block.
What to do?
And you can get an Ice Lance and a Flame Strike, right? And then you can Alstraza yourself on the turn after.
Yeah, and
he's
also...
Fire Blasting himself.
Or that.
Or you could do that.
All right, you can do that.
He found lethal after all, so that's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So let's just get to this game with the very aggressive frothing start, right?
Yeah, it really helped. It limited the options Firebat had so much. That's kind of how Freeze Mage loses, right? When you put too much pressure where they can't stop what you're doing and draw enough cards at the same time, they just kind of crumble. And there was a lot of crumbling in that match there. Yeah. But pretty exciting. I always love to see. Again, I think it's my favorite class to see in tournaments. It's the Freeze Mage. So now we get to see at least twice as much.
Okay, that's good. That's
that's positive. You can look at it that way, like from not Firebat's perspective, and it's great. So yeah, I wonder though, like the priest from Kolento, he's one of the few players that has played it in the past. I don't think he's played it this league just yet, but for a time he was one of the few players that actually bothered bringing it to tournaments. And I just wonder what it's good against in the field. Is it just because rogues are starting to vanish? No pun intended. I mean it. I didn't.
Well, I guess not exactly. Priest's matchup is pretty good against, like, you know, the usual, you know, the hunters, the shamans, you know, and actually does stand a chance against patron warriors, somewhat. But I guess it's also kind of there just because they want to be unpredictable, right? If you always bring the same lineups every single week, then people can just draft the exact list to, you know, defeat you. We saw that kind of with Nihilum versus Valley Town, where Nihilum just brought like BGHs in like every single deck, right? There's like 9 BGHs across 6 decks, and that's a lot of BGHs. And then Valley Town brought Fel Reaver Mech Mage. So you know, if you become too predictable, then people can kind of one up you in the deck selection process.
Yeah, predictability. Never want to be in that spot. So what do you hope for here? I'm kind of hoping that we see one of those matchups that I kind of see on your stream sometimes, Maz. It's the priest versus freeze mage. That's so fun.
I
hate that.
I don't know if fun is the correct term for that.
Fun is the correct term as the viewer.
Okay.
Oh, as a viewer, okay. I guess if you're playing the Deathlord Priest, you can always try and snipe their Alexstrasza or, like, you know, Antonidas out or something. But that's really the only hope you have with the Deathlord version. For the other version, the, you know, Recombobulator, Cabal Shadow Priest, Shinkmeister version, you're just kind of sitting there waiting to die. You get your whole board frozen all the time. It's kind of sad. So I'm thinking that Kolento's going to bring the Priest after Firebat's Mage is through.
You think it's that bad of a matchup?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
actually pretty awful. It feels it's kind of like playing Handlock against Freeze Mages. Yeah, like you've got healing, but it's never bursty enough to really get you out of trouble when they get the cards, and you can't get tempo either because they tend to just remove it, and you're one of the few classes that really just doesn't deal with Doomsayers that well. I mean, unless you play like Double Pain and maybe a Silence, which is kind of unusual nowadays. So
Confused new meta. Yeah.
snap, son, it's coming. Let it be known.
All right. Well, it is going to be Ecop's Warlock versus Xixo's Rogue. I think I remember Xixo playing like a weapon-heavy Rogue earlier in this tournament. But you know, we have seen players change it up a little bit here and then, so I don't really know exactly what to expect. But Ecop playing Warlock, I don't quite remember what he's been playing, but I'd imagine Zoo.
Yeah, he plays quite a couple. He brought Malagos Warlock one time as well. So I guess, yeah, once again, you don't really know what to do, but Rogue really always have the same strategy of like board control until like your turn 6+, I guess, where you either just oil them and just, you know, kill your opponent with big flurries and whatnot, or just sprint for even more and just delay that strategy a little bit more. So whether Ecop is like a Zoo or Malagos Warlock, Handlock kind of, makes the mulligan a bit more simple. It doesn't change too much.
Yeah, the Dragon Warlock is the one I always hope to see. It's kind of like pretty refreshing, pretty exciting, pretty unpredictable, and well, dragons are just cool, so it kind of somewhat worked.
Well, dragons are
for
cool,
Dragon Lock, right?
but you sometimes players have been trying so hard to make it work, right? But we haven't
this
seen
is
like
it, right? This is it. This is like
this
as
is
close
it.
as we-
That's the extent of
Yeah.
it. I mean, man,
Isn't it?
I guess. I mean,
Not
it's
really. It's not quite there because it's more like Malagos Warlock than Dragon Lock.
Which is a dragon.
So
Right.
Freeze Mage
Play
is
the
like
dragon
Dragon.
synergistic cards.
Okay, so we've got like Dragon Mage because of Alex, I think. Kind
you
of,
would
right?
think that like Hungry Dragon and like what's that 6-mana 6/6 that grows bigger? You wish those are more
Sacrifice
played,
Crusher.
right? Yeah, exactly. The Crusher and even like Volcanic Drake. You want to see those played a bit more in competitive, but so far I guess the technical term is nobody has found the right deck yet.
Yeah. I know
In my
Kibler's working
mind-
on Mage, so.
In my mind, any deck that's running the Dragon Synergy cards, the Blackwing dudes, is a Dragon deck.
Okay.
All right. So I have a question for you. Okay, well, I guess you must have been expecting Zoo from Ecop, because I was going to say, if you think it could be Handlock, then playing this gives him a really good turn 1 with Coil, where otherwise he would have nothing to do. So never mind.
Xixo's Fearless. Yeah,
Oh.
just slam dunk the 2/1. But he seems to be playing the Weapon Rogue again. The Goblin Autobarber is pretty indicative of that, and I think the Goblin Autobarber is often accompanied by the Assassin's Blade.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't get too punished. Go ahead.
and I think that actually puts him in a good position against the Zoo Warlock, just because Zoo Warlocks don't really use weapon removal. So if you can't remove the weapon, you're playing a weapon-centered deck. If that's your win condition and it can't be countered that easily, I think this probably favors the Rogue quite a bit.
It's a little difficult, though, because very often, I remember back in the days when Rogues played the Assassin's Blade variant, they would run into taunts. Like, you'd run into one taunt minion, and you're like, oh, so I have to kind of Blade Flurry this entire board, and I miss, you know, maybe 14 damage to the face that I'll never get to do. So,
It's also up to the rogue player to see how they maneuver around board positions. For example, like, oh, rogues are really bad against Zoo because, you know, some people might say that because if we AoE, their Creeper stays alive, their Nerubian X stays alive and stuff like that. But it's really up to them to kind of like not make sure that doesn't happen and just remove, you know, minions that don't have Death Rattle and then remove all the Death Rattles in like kind of one go.
Okay. No, he chooses not to power roll down the creature. This seems like a pretty reasonable play to make, but he quite convincingly goes for the Imp Gang Boss, just to be a bit more annoying. There comes the Assassin's Blade.
And this turn is looking a little bit more awkward.
yeah, a lot more. It's true.
Well, If he got power roamed down, it would have been considerably more awkward than that, I think.
So
Oh, maybe
Really?
not, because yeah, then you'd use weapon and then Goblin Autobarber to kill the juggler, right? That
Yeah,
would
that would have been really
Okay.
smooth, I think. I think playing in-game boss at 3 is just amazing in a lot of matchups. Just doesn't die to anything.
Yeah, and gives you 2/1/1s in this case. So
What if you kill the 1/1 with a 3/2? There you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, trying to get some more value. And doesn't get punished too much, I guess. Oh, you can actually knife juggler and power
Yeah.
wall here.
it might get punished severely. We'll have to see exactly how
Yes.
those.
Yes. Severely is how
yeah.
I would put it as well. You get 2
Actually-
chances to kill the 3/1.
Yeah,
you
that's
can push
crazy.
for a lot of face damage here if you want. Okay. Never lucky.
No punish?
Yet.
Actually, Ekop just might go for the safe play. Just, kill this off with the Nerubian egg.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Ace.
Nah, Ekop's
Ace!
gonna go safe. Nah, yeah.
Crib disagrees. He's like, I wouldn't mind losing my juggler here, but I think
Would you do that play in the arena, Crip?
No.
that answers the question. All right, we can move on. Oh man, and that Lotheb from Ecop is going to really lock down Xixo's opportunities in the next few turns. I mean, even if he picks up a Blade Flurry, he's still very far away from dealing with the board, and his health is getting almost under the 20 mark.
Yeah, there's like nothing really to be done here. Like you have nothing.
Do you play Lotheb? I mean, I'm sure you're trading pretty poorly.
No,
but
I think what you do is you maybe re-dagger and then auto-barber Deadly Poison to kill the 4/4.
Okay. That's a pretty good
that's
move.
fine. Yeah.
Because if you get
Snap.
really lucky with juggles, it contests the board.
Oh, seems like we're just gonna see a oh,
That's actually really okay.
that's not bad, I guess. But the 3/2 weapon doesn't really kill anything in Ekop's board.
Is he hoping for Blade Flurry top deck for Tinkers? Because he's got
Yeah,
the mana to do it.
He might be like that desperate. It's possible.
Lothep's gonna seal that out. Usually the best counter Lothep is Lothep back, but not in this position, right?
No, not when you're this far behind.
Oh man, that's the Blade Flurry doesn't quite solve the problem either.
Oh,
Well, that sucks.
that would have been good.
What would have been good is you just Assassin's Blade at this turn.
Oh, you kind of have to
Deadly
develop
Poison last
something,
turn.
right? It
Well,
feels
no,
like-
instead of Deadly Poison last turn, right?
Oh, just Assassin's Blade and kill something. Yeah, makes sense. But then your
No,
3/2
go
doesn't get
face.
traded. Oh, just go face. Okay. Well then.
And then next turn you go for the
Deadly
the board wire.
Poison, Oil, and then Blade Flurry.
Yeah, I guess after that point you're only dead theoretically to charge minions like immediately.
Yeah.
So you might be able to pull off like a heal bot if you're running one. Well, yeah, I actually like that play. The more I think about it.
All right. Well, that's not quite enough. It's 1 short of lethal.
Mm-hmm.
But you take it, right?
You just
Do you?
send it down to 1.
Leaving a creature on the board is really scary, I think.
Especially
Yeah.
against Rogue. Yeah.
With the preps and the Tinkers.
Oh, just gonna go for it. He heard you, Crip. Just gotta go for it sometime.
I wouldn't go for it. They'll actually trade.
Oh my god, and there's
Oh,
a
there we
prep. That
go.
is such a crazy prep.
Alright. Well,
Could he could actually win on the back of this, right?
Well, no,
Yeah.
he actually has to use a Lothep to clear the 1/1 that comes out. Otherwise,
Oh.
he just dies.
This is so sad. This is the saddest moment in a
That is
rogue's
true.
life.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think. He can't use his face to clear anymore. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that-
that's
not
really
for
the only
now,
options
for
he still has. I don't really see anything else. You do want to prep the oil so that the Lothep kind of gets the charge, I guess.
Well, it might get to attack with it later, right? So
Huh? Oh, I guess
Well,
not.
yeah,
guess
he wants
you-
to keep the prep for sprint and maybe pick up a heal bot
Yeah.
or some form of healing.
Alright, 1 damage off lethal, Ekop.
Can you do it? Can you
Denied.
top deck that Doom Guard?
That's
Not
not
yet. Where is the Doom Guard?
There
And-
it is.
Xixo, he did react. He was pretty
Almost.
focused.
Yeah.
Pretty focused all this game.
I was pretty happy about this.
Yeah, and that happiness extracted just, from Xixo. Like, you could just see the happiness flowing from one side
Drain
of the screen.
life.
Drain happiness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, pretty exciting win from Ecop. He had a very aggressive board, a very aggressive opener. And even though the big weapon plays, I think the core of the deck really showed how strong it was. It was just like one turn too late. So, yeah, not really too much to be done.
Happiness, man. This could be the new Warlock card.
Siphon joy. You just siphon, everybody was happy. And then
Yeah.
there's like blinks of Rexar on your hero once in a while.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that. Sounds like good design, right?
sounds good. Yeah. Why don't you apply for the job, man? That sounds pretty good.
But yeah, it is a good deck. So we go back up to the matchup screen. Cloud9 is currently leading 2-0. Very good start for them. And it seems like they are going to go with Strifecro next, right? They're kind of like, alternating everybody to go at least once, get the momentum.
I have seen a lot of that, but I can't understand any strategy associated with that line of play.
Well, that's because you have 3 players that can play next, right? So in case you get benched or something, then you can kind of maneuver around the decks better. But at the same time, if you pick Kolento next, for example, and he wins with Priest, and then for example Strifecro just plays 2 times and gets benched, Ekup has to play as Hunter, for example. So 3 people with 1 win each seems to be a good way to go around things.
So I mean, if you're Kolento and you're trying to lock the priest up, you've got, as you said, a few matchups that are kind of okay. You mentioned Shaman and Hunter among those. You won't face Xixo likely, I guess, because Archon might not send him out again. So you're kind of avoiding Shaman and Rogue. But if they know that and they expect you to pull out Priest, what does Team Archon just queue into a Priest?
Yeah, I guess once again, Kolento's Priest is still very dangerous because there's the Freeze Mage, and there's probably the Handlock for Firebat, and even against Zulok is not an insane steamroll, right? So my prediction is actually they're going to bring out Ekop's Hunter next.
That's interesting. I was just thinking, if that position is that strong to have 1 win on each player, how likely is to play Strifecro? And if they play Strifecro, what is the best counter from Team Archon? And what got me thinking is how likely, because Strifecro's, I think, a lot of time going to play Freeze Mage. How likely is Freeze Mage going to lose to that Rogue of Xixos? It's not a matchup you see very
likely,
frequently.
yeah.
Not too likely. Probably more likely than normal because you have more burst than normal.
Sure, you have Assassin's Blade for damage. It's kind of like a Ragnar sometimes in 4 turns, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. But Kolento's actually gonna go Priest here, so I'm gonna take that risk, and it's gonna go up against Freeze.
Yes.
Oh,
we did it,
yes.
We did it.
No.
Wanted it, so I guess. I'm gonna turn on my Resident Sleeper. You guys have fun.
It's actually it's an interesting matchup. I guess I kind of agree with Crip, but then there are those 20% of games I guess that you just can't really do much as either player, right? Priest just draws all their Shadow Word Depths and whatnot, and then Freeze Mage just draws all the secrets, and even that is not that too bad if the Mage draws the secrets.
I feel like there's not that many matchups that really allow you to highlight skill and some really crazy plays, but this is absolutely one of them, where there's all these little things that you can just win the game from that most players just don't think about.
Okay. Well, very good starts from both players. Double Doomsayer for Kolento, for Firebat, and Kolento has the double Pyromancer. It's actually pressure. Right?
The most minion heavy hand you'll ever find. I mean, the Valence shows are not even that bad in this case.
Yeah.
Oh wow, double Valence.
Pretty damn good, in fact. I wonder if you just dunk your
No, just dunk the face.
Yeah. And Doomsayers, wow, okay. So what about one day we see a metagame where people play Doomsayers for board clear purposes, and if it backfires, you just play Raid Leader Confuse.
Whoa.
Could that happen?
Oh man.
You just do it. It's like multifaceted, right? It works either way.
Sure. Dunk it. No dunk, get punished.
Yeah. This could be a big problem, and that second balance chosen is going to
This
be
is already a big problem.
How do you deal with like a 7 whatever, you know?
Yeah, just not suiciding. Oh, he's gonna ice lance it.
Wow, really? You expect the second Valence? That's insane. That's a really good play.
Firebat, showing again why he's so good at the game.
Incoming Shadow Word Pain.
No. Wow. Crip, you're gonna punish the good plays? That's how Hearthstone is, right? Hearthstone rewards good plays. Right?
No, it doesn't. Hearthstone rewards the player with Animal Companion. That's it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
This is Salty Crip talking, most likely.
Yeah, so Salty Crip is currently in this chat. If you would like to avoid dying, please leave.
Well, yeah, very good play from Firebat. Absolutely. Stops the second Velens from basically rolling him out of the game.
Yeah. So Belcher, that's like a kind of a problem for Freeze Mage again. It's one of those minions that's just so annoying. It's not difficult to deal with, but it's just like a pesky annoyance that's going to be chipping away at your health for a little while.
Alright. Double Loot Hoarder, why not?
Yeah, in case one of them gets stolen, you still have another one, right? Oh,
Nope.
never mind, not anymore. Just wants to get the value right away.
So Northshire Cleric would be a pretty decent top deck for Kolento, but
I'd say Cabal would be a bit nicer.
the best, yeah.
Yeah, Cabal's the best. But right now, I mean, it's turn 6 already, and the Freeze Mage is still sitting at 25 health. And, like, still a world of
Well,
time
look at this
to
board
solve
though
this.
here. Like, this board's gonna be insane.
A little bit.
Nova
but,
Doomslayer Rip.
like, even though you think it's insane, it's more insane in terms of health, right? Like 16
Yeah.
health. It's only 9 power at the end. And Zulox can actually put 9 power with, like, just 3 creatures. Just 3 1-drops. So, yeah. Still not enough pressure, I think.
Alright, well, if this Doomsayer works, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, back to square one.
Yeah, Colento's gonna have
And,
to draw out to kill this. Nope.
No.
Uh-oh.
That card actually does nothing. That's a bummer.
And yeah, this is the time where when you're playing priest, you're just really sad. You dump out 2 minions that have like such high health values, and they just evaporate.
Yeah, Firebat. Yeah, it's taking it easy there. No big deal.
I really hate this matchup as a priest. Oh, how I loathe it. It's one of the matchups I
Really?
just don't... Yeah, I hate playing this as priest.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
man.
excruciating from start to finish. I'm just like, oh, if I ever get a board, and it's such a bad assumption to make against Freeze Mage.
Oh man, and Alex Straza comes down. Like if you're actually the freeze mage, you don't even need to Alex Straza on turn 9. You can just Alex Straza when you have a lot of burn and just
Yeah.
kill your opponent. Because as a priest, you can't heal above 30. You're always gonna be at 30. So yeah. Well,
Alright.
Someone injured?
Well, looks like Colento's interested in drawing.
Yeah, I can't blame him. It feels a little bit like Handlock that way, where one of the few ways you win the matchup is by drawing enough of your cards that you're able to put out consistent pressure. And they have to let you do it, though. And Handlock, you know, often denies that in Freeze Mage as well.
Alright.
wonder if it makes sense to actually just play Kazan Mystic and Priest just to avoid the situation. It's like, yeah, whatever.
That'd be interesting from Kolento. I mean, there's a Harrison Jones already as a tech card. What is another flex spot that you see in a deck like this one that you would just cut out? Because, I mean, you wouldn't cut the top end of the curve, would you?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, the only chance Kolento has probably is to have Izera into Dream something, most likely. Because that's the only way to heal, right? I mean, anti-heal bots are actually found in some decks. Oh, and Thoughtsteal is another option, I guess. You can Thoughtsteal Ice Block. That's like amazing. But
The best,
we know
yeah.
that it won't happen because Ice Block is already on the board and on the hand.
Alright, Kolento wants to draw
That's still a
first.
heal bot, maybe, as well.
Oh, that's pretty
yeah?
nice.
That's kind of cute. You can take that.
I'm surprised he's not trying to protect his Northshire here.
You mean by playing Death Lord?
No, by just
Change your mind.
putting
Oh, just
Power
healing
Shield
it?
or healing it, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess Flame Strike is your primary concern, I guess. Oh, wow.
That's true, but like you could have chosen to pump out the Northshire rather than the Harrison.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I'm actually enjoying this, Crib. You know, I'm starting to... Yeah, I'm starting to join your camp. Like, I'm actually enjoying this game a lot more than I...
Oh, man. Are you guys putting yourselves in the priest perspective? Because if you're putting yourself in the
No,
priest
I'm not. I'm
yeah.
absolutely not. I'm not putting myself in the priest's shoes right now. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just looking at it from the freeze mage's perspective. I don't think there's much the priest really can dictate. It's kind of like he's waiting for the mage to ask questions, and he obviously won't have the answers most of the time. Lothar? Nope.
Not much to be done there. The Fireball double Frostbolt Ice Lance, that is 16, plus the ping is 17. So something has to happen here.
No, you can't ping after you
can't
play all
ping?
those.
Oh, you're right. You're one mana short.
So it's probably going to be Antonitis plus like a barrier or something. I mean, Firebat's going to see that his Alexstrasza is going to live, or it's going to die by like minion trading, and it's like, oh, no death, easy, just like slam dunk Antonitis, and just maybe even Frostbolt Ice Lance.
Just get one. Yeah, I was gonna say like you might want one fireball. If you get two, then all the better. But you're not looking for two even at this point. It's like it almost doesn't matter how many you get.
Oh, Fireball goes on the Alexstrasza.
Yeah, pretty clean play. There is no seal the deal because the first Ice Lance was already used earlier in the game. It's a great effect, by the way.
Right? Yeah, that actually pretty much might have won the game.
Yeah, looking back on it, I think that might have been the play that enabled him to not get obliterated by the priest tempo.
Still
Thought
looks
I'd
like
say that one day.
Antonitis is a really good play here because getting those extra fireballs means you can fireball, frostbolt next turn, and you're doing 7 this turn.
Alternatively, you can just Power Blast the face right now.
Yeah, actually. Well, is there anything that you're weak to, even like if you do that ever? I'm wondering what Firebat's waiting for. So is he afraid of a Lotheb turn?
Yeah. I guess
like
you do lose to Lotheb if you actually just do any of those plays.
Yeah, he wants to maximize the amount of damage output he gets. So next turn, he's gonna be able to Frostbolt Ice Lance somewhat reliably. Oh, a little bit more healing for Kolento.
Yep, got to play that. It's post Alexstrasza, so every point of healing is effective. And you're just trying to look to dodge the spells that are gonna come in.
Yeah, if Kolento plays a heal bot and Firebat doesn't go for the Archmage.
If he
Even
gets a
Holy
fireball
Fire.
here, it's over. Nope.
Not quite. Well, can't draw
This is-
fireballs, just make your own. Let's see Antonitis and a Frost Nova most likely. Oh, nope, just gonna go face. Okay. Firebat
Yeah,
seems like he has enough damage,
He wants
Yeah.
2 fireballs. I can't blame him.
Kazan Mystic top deck.
No, but
So,
Lotheb will do it. Lotheb will do it.
Lothar won't win the game though, unfortunately.
Alright.
Not enough.
How do you even draw? You have to go for Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Wild
Acolyte
Pyro.
Pyromancer, you have to do it.
Then you heal yourself, and you hope to get what?
Holy
You
Fire.
have like 4 mana left. You can't even.
Holy
play.
Fire, yeah, Holy Fire. If it's
how-
even in the deck.
Oh, no, you
No, but
can't.
you,
No.
you can't
Yeah,
cast
you-
it, so
you only
you're
have
still
4
dead.
mana.
Oh, whoa, whoops. Then
The other Light of the Naru will put you at 16. You'll be at 1.
Hey, you'd live.
you live. Can't even deal with the Antonitis, and you can't say you live. Alright. Yep.
Well, the Antagonist doesn't go through the taunt. You do live.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. If only it was only like a 5/7 minion. But Secret? It's a very sad matchup. It's really sad.
That was
It's super
cool.
one-sided.
Oh, that was
The
cool.
only- The only sad part about that is that Team
Priest is a
Archon
class.
can't play another Freeze Mage match.
Oh man.
Sad day.
Okay. Well, Team Archon gets on the board with
Yeah.
with the Freeze Mage win.
Yeah, also 6-0, the Dream has been vanquished, unfortunately. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last. Oh wait, tomorrow is. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, of course. Week 6.
Yeah.
And then the next week it will be the last week
Next
of Phase
week.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
We can
we'll be
still
moving on to
dream.
Redemption and Satellites, and I mean those should be pretty cool because now players will be competing for the top spots. I mean, even right now, I think it kind of matters a lot who ends up in the middle of the pack or towards the end of it. But I mean, Nihilum is so far ahead at the moment. I think they're almost guaranteed. You know, we were talking about this earlier, but almost guaranteed second place.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's not
Ish.
guaranteed. Just very likely. Very
Okay.
likely.
Yeah, very likely. They have to lose 2 series in a row, and then even then, they still might make second place due to good tiebreakers.
I think if they win one and lose one horribly, they can also get knocked out, right?
Yeah, and we know that there might be horrible series that just comes out. There's been 6-1s, 6-3s. It might be possible, but like
Yeah.
looking to the next match, I'm pretty sure Kolento's not going to queue as priest again. But then
Does that really matter though? Like if the priest is benched, does that really enable any other
yeah,
decks?
wow. Oh man, that's brutal.
I'm sad right now, and I can't unsad.
But why do you want more chances to play priest? You just want
It's unpredictable, guys. It's unpredictable.
Oh my god, I'm dying here. Why do you want more chances to play priest? Says the guy who made his name playing
Oh,
priest, I think.
It's a tournament, okay? Like
Right.
It's a 250,000 tournament. You want to play hunter and patron as many times as you can because it has the most winning percentage. Right?
All right. I can see that. Like, I agree with you. It's just like, it makes so little sense to me.
But I guess to be fair, if you play priest now and it loses, then it gets benched. And Trip is like, it doesn't matter if the priest gets benched. Right? So you can go with that strategy too.
Oh, we'll see what they decide to bring out. Like Strifecro playing Paladin here. I'm pretty happy. He's one of the few players who's been somewhat comfortable with it. But then again, Paladin hasn't been performing necessarily as well. Like the mid-range version, of course, as well as some people
Actually,
wanted
it's
to.
quite different. Mid-range Paladin has been performing quite well when Strifecro plays it.
Yeah.
And when Trump plays it, he loses every time. So it's kind of like, different.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen Strifecro play today yet, but maybe here. Strifecro, I think, at least all the paladins that I've seen so far from him have been this like mid-rangey control type of paladin.
Right.
So he has that, and again, most likely a freeze mage. But I think we did see like a weird mage in one of the weeks, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we?
Grinder mage from Strifecro, yeah, no doubt.
Now,
I think
Rita
it was-
also played a weird mage with the
Wasn't
giants.
he only allowed that deck like 1 week? Maybe his team had something to say about that.
It's possible. I know it's a personal favorite of his, but it might not be one. Like tournament-wise, it hasn't really performed nearly as well as it needs to justify bringing every time. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, a reversed matchup seems to be in play here with Strefko playing the freeze mage and Zalae playing the patron warrior. We're assuming, and tables have flipped.
All right, Zalae obviously playing the patron, as you mentioned. I think Zalae is one of my favorite players in the game right now, just because he plays patron warrior really well. Patron warrior is a really interesting deck to play, but like the best part of it all is like those like soul crushing mist lethal because of rope. Oh my god, those are the absolute best.
And he does them. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has produced a few of those. I'm hoping for another crack at one here. Looks like freeze mage. So it's going to be a pretty drawn out game. If the warrior does end up winning, it'll probably involve some kind of combo. So the odds are pretty good that something can go wrong.
Yeah, we'll see if Zalae actually, plays it kind of like Kolento did, with just plain defrauding ASAP.
I've seen almost no one do it besides Kolento.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen that too often.
He does it so often. Every time it boggles my mind because I think to myself, that can't be right. Isn't this supposed to be the OTK card, right? Against decks that are kind of slow, like Freeze Mage, where you can combo them down in one shot, and then maybe pop the block with 3 attack patron. But he does it the other way, and it always seems to work out for him.
What do you guys think about the Warsong Commander, actually?
Oh, no way, right? Here? No.
It's Frostbolt or bust, right?
What? No, you mean you have to use the inner rage as well? Oh, I mean you just punch the before the huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. Seems very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like asking for a fireball even, right?
The question is, what do you aim to make charge? At this point of the game, you don't really have anything just yet, so. Well.
All right.
So Frothing is played at turn 3 against Freeze Mage.
And that is ice barriers. Ice block is playable. Guess ice block's gonna do.
Yeah, there's a frothing better ice block.
I like it.
It's too dangerous. Can't let it be.
All right, so here you could actually play Inner Rage and cycle some cards, or
I like the Inner Rage. I like Armorsmith, Inner Rage, Battle Rage.
Yeah, even against like a freeze mage, generally speaking, you want to press the armor button every single turn. So I think you would actually want to, whatever you do, just press the hero power. You know.
Okay.
That's like the win condition, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then Justicar True Out comes out, and no mage ever wins ever again against Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder though, like you have to fireball that frothing pretty much every single time. Unfortunately, you didn't find Frostbolt, but your follow-ups aren't really that amazing. So if the patron comes down,
Death Spite comes in. That's pretty nice. Still not really much going for Strifecro yet. He has a bit of draw. He has a defensive position. But, I mean, if the next few cards also don't really accomplish anything, I think he's going to start to just fall behind.
Yeah, a little bit. You do want to cycle cards, but you don't want to cycle too many cards. In this matchup, it seems like fatigue does come in like half the time. So it's kind of like a delicate balance. Usually the mage does draw more because they have loot hoarders and they have like arcane intellects that they can't dodge with acolytes and whatnot. So usually the mages fatigues first.
Whoa, that's pretty nice.
It's not bad. Emperor, I believe it's not going to see being played at turn 6. You do want the more bursty spells, the cheaper ones, like Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and a couple of Antonidas for theoretically, unlimited damage. And if you just drop Emperor here, it really doesn't do anything.
But if you don't Emperor, I mean, if you don't have a good Blizzard, do you think you can get away with just Arcane Intellect again?
Yeah, I think you can get away with that. Because
Yes, that's true. Because either Blizzard's good or they play nothing, and you can just get away with Arcane Intellect.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I like the Zalae's decision to armor up last turn instead of playing the Death Bite, but now that he picked up a patron, it's looking a little bit more wonky, where he could have gotten himself a few of those and forced the mage to have the Blizzard.
But with this play, he actually stacks up the armor. So that's the only thing that really matters. And with Armorsmith, if Zalae actually picks up a second Armorsmith, then it's just going to be insane. And you just win on the back of like not actually needing to proc an ice block. Just
Would you have
attacked?
attacked into the Acolyte of Pain with a Ghoul to make the mage overdraw, perhaps? Or like draw more?
No.
Or is it too early yet to even try to
Too
go for that
early, I
big game?
think.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta survive the early onslaught. Onslaught meaning that if the mage actually has like, I know I'm using that term kind of maybe wrong, but onslaught means like you have Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and then with Antonidas a million fireballs with Emperor, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want
Yeah.
to give them extra options.
Mm.
So
Doomsayer might be playable here.
I mean, you suspect your opponent. Well, then again, it's kind of a. I guess if it eats up and execute, you're happy with it either way. You know you can't Arcane Intellect because you're gonna overdraw, but. Yeah, I wonder about Doomslayer here. Is it just too weak to even a Cruel Task would have killed it?
I think he just has 2 Frost Novas that are otherwise useless. So he probably just wants the combo.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you just play Frost Nova as is, it's just like a healing touch for however damage your opponent has on their board, right? If you can couple with like something else, like a Doomsayer, then you force them to play something, like maybe a Whirlwind Execute or like Axe Execute, right? So they actually lose a bit of burst. So then, the burst option of killing them is out of the question. But then, once again, Strifecro is drawing a lot of cards. He's going to fatigue faster than Zalae is dying from, health, right? He's so much armor, just clicking that thing every turn.
I'm kind of surprised this Armorsmith hasn't hit the board yet. I mean, what's the worst that can happen to it?
Well, dying is like the Armorsmith is basically.
To what though? Like
it
Frost
doesn't matter.
Ping or something?
They would do it. Like
Yeah, they would
Armorsmith
actually
is
remove
your-
that.
Yeah, they would fireball it if they had to, because it's the one card that wins the game every time in fatigue against mage in this matchup. So
Yeah, imagine
Well,
if you have like 6
We're all
creatures
gonna
on
see
your board,
play
right?
here. Yeah.
Maybe not actually. To be honest, I would hold it too. Like
Yeah.
Armor Smith with 6 creatures is like 6 health. Plus, if they actually have to flame strike your board because it has like 5 other patrons and whatnot, you get another 6 health, and that's like insane. No other 2-drop.
You can do that this turn. Like this is worse.
But you have only one Whirlwind. Oh no, you're right. You have 2.
And then you have Inner Rage, and then you have 1 from the Ghoul.
And you
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, you do it now with Inner Rage.
Oh yeah, with the ghoul, it definitely does make sense.
Hmm.
I mean, you have
Yeah.
2 Whirlwind effects, and you threaten a huge board. It just depends how threatened you feel by a board clear. That's really the only factor.
And how much you care about getting the patrons to charge.
Definitely not really, since the mages are 32 health.
Hmm.
And you did lose a frothing early on.
Yeah. Zalae plays this very passively. I think every game I've seen him play against Freeze Mage has been like fatigue based for the most part.
Alright, he does a Battle Rage, but it's like a small Battle Rage. I guess he doesn't want to draw that much.
It's a small two mana, 3 cards. That's small.
Reasonable.
It is small for this deck. Yeah.
That's like barely better than Nourish.
Yeah.
What?
Barely better.
Oh man.
I think Nourish might be better, right? Because you can get the mana crystals and stuff.
Oh, come on.
Ancestral knowledge is where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Alexstrasza into the face right now doesn't seem like too amazing. You only have 2 burn spells in your hand, and you might fizzle out afterwards.
I guess it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
You're forcing him to play defensively,
fizzling
but I
is
think
real.
you have to. Because it's a matchup that you might not want to see extend too much if you don't have Archmage yet. So maybe try to close it and threaten as fast as you can.
Okay, and I'll be very surprised if the Armor Swift doesn't come down this turn,
Yeah.
just
Well,
because it's post Alexstrasza.
We can do some really fancy, like, Warsong Commander Armorsmith play.
Okay, do like fancy.
Charge forward! Armor made to fit.
Alright, so right now...
So
do
you
you
want to
see
inner rage the
this?
3/2, smash it in the Alexstrasza first so that you get more armor from the ghoul. Oh,
He wants to
then-
maximize the armor output.
And break it. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah.
I think your idea was a little bit better, Amaz. Well,
I
let's
thought
see.
it was going to
Maybe
iterate
we're
it.
wrong. Yeah.
Maybe it's the same. I'm not really sure.
Patron, the only deck that nobody even knows how to play, but it still shows up in tournaments and it still wins.
Yep.
That's a great thing about the deck.
Sounds about right.
Okay. And the
The
hero
inner
card
rage just seems pretty decent. Like, push for 5 more damage and gain 1 more life.
Hmm.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems like I would have used
Like,
it too.
do you get more value than that? Like, do you save it for a frothing? I don't think so.
So Blood Mage Blizzard is pretty sweet here. So that's gonna wipe the board and give your opponent you're gonna force your opponent to get another wave of patrons, and that means he's got to have the second War Song. And after the second patron wave and the maybe last frothing, you're pretty much safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once again, the Armor Swift is doing so much work, right? Just heals for a lot. We might even see Strifecro just like killing the Armor Swift first. Or, oh yeah, Doomsayer is much better actually. Just deny your opponent any armor if they actually don't have an answer to this.
Execute or like weapon execute or
Something.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
isn't this so much riskier if they do have like a Whirlwind effect? Like even 1 Whirlwind effect is 5 armor, and it spawns enough patrons to kill the Doomsayer with charge.
That's true.
This
That
play
is very
loses to
dangerous.
Whirlwind. This is
He might
extremely
Iceland.
dangerous play.
he might kill the War Song.
Yeah, I think he probably should.
Ooh, leaving it up. Okay.
So dangerous.
Well, this man's got Gus.
Well,
he's
Gus
gonna
is not
get-
gonna. Gus is not gonna.
Actually,
take
he's got it
Doomsayer.
for sure. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
it guaranteed. Never mind.
That's right.
Didn't
But
even need
like,
the Whirlwind.
Zalae is drawing another card again. So how many cards are we at? This is like the only matchup that's like always important to know how many cards there are at. You know.
Yeah. Well, here comes the Inner Rage. It acts as a deterrent for Doomsayer, so looks like that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It's value out of the inner range.
And one thing to say too, from Strifecro's perspective, is maybe that's what he was hoping for. just to get maybe the best possible. Because if a whirlwind effect gets out of the way, you're gonna wipe the board after that, and all you lost is not your health. You just lost a Doomsayer, so you don't really care. Maybe that's what
Hey,
he was trying to do.
here comes a 7 armor donation to the warrior again.
Yeah, donation is about the right word. And I think this is exactly why you don't play Armistice so early on. It's just the potential of gaining so much armor here.
Would you like a healing wave?
Healing
Sure it
wave.
is. Yeah.
Would you win the joust?
Alexstrasza. Nope.
Well, I would play it in
That
Malagos.
Now with Alistraza and Archmage out, I think you probably would win the joust. Actually,
Yeah.
the only creature left in the deck, I think, is a mad scientist.
Yeah, or Acolyte Pain, something like that. Yeah, you could, I guess.
Malagos Shaman the Dream.
8 cards for the Freeze Mage, 11 cards for the Patron Warrior.
Yeah, so once again, even though the patron drew so much, the mage is always drawing more.
Yeah, the patron didn't. I mean, Zalae is very cautious about his card draw. Where I remember, like, there was a game that we saw somebody else play patron, and he just went overboard with the Battle Rage. And Zalae is always very cautious not to overdraw with it, because that's one of the biggest ways to lose against Freeze Mage is just to draw like 6 cards, and then you end up way ahead on the 15.
Well, do you then Battle Rage right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the dangerous portion right now is that Zalae knows if your opponent drops down Antonitis, you can't kill it. So that's really the only concern right now.
Yeah. So
I think with that hand you can draw 11 cards and just guarantee the execute.
Oh, no, not guaranteed. We know what Hearthstone is, right? Because sometimes you don't draw the card you want. So maybe a little bit more card draw would be nice here. At least that's what Zalae's line of thinking is. And,
wow.
Zalae has 10 cards left. He can draw one for his turn. He can Battle Rage for 2 and draw with Acolyte for 1 more.
right, but
So,
here, as you can see, like, Strifecro is definitely going to go for the YOLO play because that's his only way to win. He's going to fatigue. So, like you said, Zalae needs a 2-card combo to actually kill this Antonitis, which is actually pretty difficult, seeing that how he has none of those.
Well, right now he's kind of missing an activator for execute as well because he's gonna get Frost Nova and Frozen on face.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I need 2 cards to kill this Antonitis, and it might not happen.
Yeah.
Well,
he's gonna be able to draw
he
like
draws
3.
1 for the turn, 2 for the Battle Rage, and 1 from the Gnomish if he really has to.
Okay.
Oh, there's that card too, I
Shield
guess.
block. Okay. But what do you have left? You have 1 more War Song, you have 1 more Inner Rage, and you have 1 more Slam. Okay, that works. That works. So you're really
Then-
fishing for that execute.
I think he's gonna find it. I mean, Whirlwind plus Battle Rage is like 2 draws from Acolyte alone.
Okay.
Dude, the
Yeah,
question is whether or
that's
not
like
you
too
play the
much
Armistice.
draws. Actually, I think if you Battle Rage, you do it before Whirlwind.
Okay.
Just draw 1 less.
Yeah, draw 1 less. Yeah, you start to become the person who's ahead on fatigue now. And then the mage
Yeah.
clears your minions, becomes scary again.
And now
Oh,
you
man,
can
it's
Armor
so
Smith if you
terrible.
want, but
Armor made
But this Whirlwind is gonna draw you another card, and when the Acolyte dies, it's gonna draw you another card. Oh man, this might be disastrous for Zalae. These shield blocks are not usable at all.
no. 5 cards left. Well, he is losing the fatigue game right now. He's not really threatening that much pressure though.
5 cards for Strife
Each
as well.
player.
Yeah.
So Zalae is actually going to be ahead on fatigue, which means
No,
all Strifecor
it's-
has to do.
He's behind because of the Acolyte in play.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah, ahead, behind, depending on.
see how you
Depending on the way you
yeah,
word it. Yeah.
all right. I agree.
Okay. Yes.
There's no correct terminology for fatigue because normally we never analyze that part of the game, right?
Yeah. Well, he's got another Doomsayer, he's got another freeze effect. He just kind of almost clear with Blizzard if he wants.
Yeah, you're only donating, what, 2 armor this turn, so that's fine. Oh, don't want that armor. But yeah, I think Strifecro is definitely thinking of, like, just surviving. It's like the health differential, right?
Yeah. I think that's exactly it.
Okay.
I'm going with the Ice Barrier.
Zalae's got two
On the
dead
Acolyte.
cards with Shield Block and the Acolyte. Unless he can pick up a lethal by then. Man, still no Warsong Commander number 2. So they're in the bottom 4.
Well, I mean, if there's only one war song in 5 cards, I guess it could be anywhere, right? Yeah, really can't push for lethal with the Ice Barrier up. And do you even want to proc the Ice Barrier at this point to give your opponent 8 armor? Because if you can't do more than 8 damage, then it's obviously not that good, right? I think
Yeah.
you should anyways, since you have Warsong, Page, Frothing and whatnot. But once again, Zalae did use Frothing earlier on in turn 3. And that's going to hurt him in some of the burst damage that he can put out.
Yeah, but even with burst, ice block just eventually stops it. But right now, I think Strifecro has no more healing at all in the deck. I don't believe I've ever seen double heal bot in a freeze mage, even though Strifecro has been known to make some interesting choices of cards. So
Yeah,
I think this is really it.
Alright, just removes this minion, and yeah, once again, Zalae is ahead on cards. And it's gonna be tough! Acolyte
Yeah.
is not playable, Gnomish Inventor is not playable, Shield Block is also unplayable.
Well, yeah, Shield Block is only unplayable insofar as you plan to get like at least 5 cards into Fatigue. Otherwise, I guess it's fine.
No, actually,
oh,
if
man.
you even get 1 card into Fatigue, then Shield Block is actually just bad. So, yeah. Oh, Strifecro doesn't have anything better to do, just, you know, tend to face.
That's not a
and-
bad
Okay.
pickup. This is getting... So do you Shield Block here for the War Song? Or do you just not care?
I can't imagine drawing more cards here anymore. It's like Zalae's
okay.
down to like 2 cards.
But it
Yes.
compensates the Fatigue cards for the Shield Block. Because the question is it over by the time you reach late Fatigue? Because the Shield Block compensates for some of the Fatigue damage that you take otherwise.
No, it doesn't compensate enough.
I don't think it works that way. Fatigue is just ramps up so quickly that
Yeah.
like drawing Shield Block drawing the 1 Fatigue damage, you think it's not that insane, right? But it actually makes you draw to
No,
the
it's the
8
turn
damage
5.
Fatigue faster,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like until turn 5, I think it's like if you have no more cards, of course not. But if it can win you
Actually,
the game,
I feel like Strifecro just doesn't have enough damage.
Yeah.
He has 2 cards more in his deck, but Zalae is gonna have like one of those turns where he can just push for like 20 damage, which is gonna make up for more than that difference.
yeah, Strifecro with the Frostbolt already thrown out means the Ice Lances are going to be somewhat bad.
Well, it still threatens a decent amount of damage. I mean, he's threatening 16. The thing is that like Freeze Mage is a pretty standard deck. Zalae is a pretty good player. Therefore, Zalae knows every single card in Strifecro's hand right now.
Sure,
So
I mean,
they're- all the surprises are gone. Like,
Oh my god, Strifecro with the MLG play right there. Realizes what he has to do if he doesn't want to give his opponent an extra, 14 health.
yeah,
No, I think actually the Armor Surf doing 1 damage every turn is very threatening.
yeah.
So you have to remove
Last
that.
card. Last card was.
Warsong Commander.
Last card is the War Song. Or wait, 1 War Song in the patient deck?
No, you
Zalae,
Song earlier.
he played 1.
Yeah, I know, but only 1 in the whole deck.
What
Tech
if?
choice. Yeah, tech
What
choice.
All right. Well, I like Flame Strike. No, actually, no. That's terrible. That's
No, no.
oh my god. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Take it back. Flame Strike is required not to get totally wrecked by the coming board.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe Blizzard will deal with it, but it's unlikely because he knows there's Patron left. He knows there's. Again, it's the reverse. Strifecro knows every single card in Zalae's hand right now.
Wait, Zalae only played 1 Execute, didn't he?
No, he played the second one on the anti-heal bot.
Yeah, on the
Okay.
heal bot.
Oh, that's right. That's what I missed. Never mind.
Well, Zalae actually here, he's just gonna plan to hit enough damage such that the ice block actually fizzles and
Yeah.
Strife starts to fatigue. And Strifecro on the other hand is looking to. I have no clue.
I think Strifecro has not played 2 ice blocks, right?
No, he's got one.
No, he has 1
left.
ice block up right now. So
No, ice barrier.
ice barrier. Oh,
I believe he has 1 early game and 1 like about.
Did he play 1 early game? I'm
Turns
not
ago.
sure.
well,
Because
we'll
if
see
he
in
did,
just a
Mad
second.
Scientist is really bad.
Yep.
Oh, no,
Ooh,
okay.
He did. Yeah, he did. Oof. Well, this is the battle of unplayable cards versus unplayable cards.
Except one player has playable cards and then the other one has to respond.
Isn't playing the Mad Scientist just whatever at this point? Like, you might as well.
So
Yeah, maybe. It's just pushes
Honest-
2 damage and makes your opponent like need to play their minions 1 turn quicker.
yeah, but it's so easy, honestly, for Zalae here, because all he has to do is set up a turn where Strifecro kills himself on fatigue. Like Ice Block won't even trigger. Is what's gonna happen.
Well, so Lei just needs to count how much damage he has
Mhm.
and just add it with the fatigue ramping up.
Right.
So this is math.
He can see it in his face.
Yep.
He's talking to himself.
Well, how much damage is this? Let's see if we can come up with a number here.
Okay. So Warsong, Patron, Frothing, Ghoul, Whirlwind, Inner Rage, right? That's the combo?
Yeah, but Ghoul just does 1 damage.
Yeah, but that's fine. So
It's a bot. It's a body.
So yeah, it's a body. So you have 3 patrons. One has 5 attack, so that's 11. 11
22,
plus
I
the
think.
ghoul.
Then
is
you'll
12.
have 4 patrons.
He's doing it now. It's
Inner
22
Rage,
damage.
and then
Yeah, that's GG.
Yeah.
He's gonna get exact lethal with that nice fatigue, I think. Maybe 1 overkill.
is it 22?
Is it?
12.
Pretty sure it is.
13,
Maybe I missed out on 3 damage. I think he might be overkilling a bit.
15.
Wait,
One
actually,
hit.
let's be
It's
honest.
20.
Even
like
though
28,
it's not lethal, even if it's not lethal, it's fine. Because what can Strifecro do?
Oh no, because
Yeah.
it hits twice. It's 21, I think.
It's over that because of the new patrons.
Okay, we'll see if Crip is right here. 21. So
Might
Strifecro
be.
should be down at 4.
Let it be.
Nope.
I think it was 22.
No, Crip.
No,
Crip.
it was 23. We were both.
Oh man, we're both bad.
Rip.
All right. Well played.
Well played.
GG. Yeah, that took a while, but we're finally there. So
That's
Warrior
cool.
takes the game against the Mage. So
And that evens up the score.
Right.
Both teams 2 points on the board. Is this the first week that Zalae just kind of went in with Patron Warrior and went out with a win like right away? I feel like, you know, he's really good at that deck. It just never seems to work out.
no,
for
it
him.
happened last week actually.
Oh, did
when
it?
yeah, when they played against Value Town, he just won straight up with Patron.
Okay. Well, good on him.
Yeah, that was the first time. So I guess it's like 2 weeks in a row. Patron's finally paying off.
Yeah. Well, both Patron Warriors have claimed victories. Freeze Mage for Firebat and Zulok for Ecop. Very narrowly in Ecop's case, but
Yeah.
Still a win is a win. What can we expect from this point out? Strifecro attempting to play Freeze Mage, losing. He's the only player on Cloud9 with 2 decks. It is a little bit of a risk to play him, but this is where the mind games start coming in, because if you kind of limit his play, if you have to play either Kolento or Ecop, then like what do you do, right?
Yeah, that's interesting because like obviously Callan doesn't want to push Strifecro again, but Team Archon knowing that might make a deck out so that Cloud9 can actually pull something off with Strifecro. So yeah,
I
it's
think they're gonna
be
pull
weird.
off. I think the Hunter is good enough on Cloud9's side to just bring out without risking Strifecro's potential bench. I
Actually,
don't
what,
think it has like terrible matches.
what punishes the Mech Shaman right now?
Wait.
Priest would kind of well.
No,
Doesn't
really.
any face deck, it's really good against Priest. So like Face Hunter is actually really strong against Priest. And judging by that, I think Mech Shaman is also really good against Priest. It's just like if you don't draw Arcanine Circle, you lose. So.
Okay, I figured maybe the Wild Power Masters would carry the early game.
I
but-
think the only deck that might be good against it is a good draw from a mid-range Pally, but that's an inconsistent deck. So I think just throwing out the Shaman here is just a good, like, whatever happens, it's fine.
Wait, Shaman is the inconsistent deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but Shaman is always inconsistent. It doesn't matter what you're playing
So
against.
it's consistently inconsistent, so you can count
Right.
on it. Just maybe whiffing completely.
Yeah.
Well, he got put the Hunter, Xixo playing the Rogue, probably expecting Kolento to pull out Priest. I don't know. This is not a great matchup for Xixo.
no,
It's not
but-
like it depends on how mid-range Ecop's deck is.
Yeah. Sometimes those Goblin Auto Barbers give you some really nice value trades at the start, and that lets you take the board. It's really like a game that, whoever's ahead on turn 4 is very, very likely to win.
Sure, and of course, it just depends on how face a cup is. The hunter deck, obviously, not his face. I'm just looking at his face right now, but yeah.
Sounds like you're
before-
distracted there. Are you intimidated by those eyes?
it's definitely something, you know.
Yeah.
You know, science museum, something you would see
You,
there.
you had
but
the chance not to make those eyes. Those are drawn. Like
I did not draw them. I just said, artists, here are the people. Here's the fact sheet. Go, you know. And then
Okay.
obviously this was the only fact that Ekop have. I mean, you know, I mean, what's the most defining quality of Ekop? Right, the eyes. So
they should have made him a paladin though, because he used to play that stuff all the time a while back. So he put a little paladin crown on his head.
maybe.
But yeah,
not anymore.
the eyes, I guess.
Just zoo it up and hunter it up. You know.
All right. Well, interesting hand from Xixo. Oh man.
Okay. Well, it seems like we actually went through turn 2s relatively quickly already.
Yeah.
And Ekop is playing either hybrid or a face deck.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like it can be either one right now, I guess.
Mhm.
Very awkward for a rogue to deal against, especially like the Assassin's Blade rogue, because when like rogues usually do is trade with the weapon and get like, you know, board later on. Hunters don't mind you using your face. I mean, that's perfectly fine. If I'm gonna hero power you and you're gonna hero power yourself as well, that's like just a double win for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has to be face, right?
With it explosive, it's looking that way, yes.
It's always face.
So it doesn't matter what it actually is. It's always sort of face. Okay, yeah. You got a point.
Actually, I
saying
don't
that-
know if it's face. Actually, I think you actually trade.
Oh.
Okay, we'll see. With this trade, it'll actually be a bit obvious, right?
Because Fan of Knives would suck, like, basically. But it sucks if you trade anyway, so you might as well let him get the 2 damage.
Exactly.
I guess at the worst case scenario, he keeps Thalnos. Man, that damage is so important against the Rogue, though.
To face or not to face? Oh, the trick.
But like, you have to keep in mind, like, you have to cut some of these cards if you're stacking weapons on Rogue. I don't even know if there's Fan of Knives in the deck.
Right, good point. You might
Like,
actually not have those.
What do you cut in the Rogue deck for those extra weapon synergy cards? There's like 4
Weapon-
extra cards in there.
Yeah, we haven't seen Farseer just yet, I guess.
I haven't
It's
seen
more of
Healbot
like
yet either.
yeah, it's more of like an aggressive weapon deck, right? So
Mhm.
you might be cutting some healing cards. And I don't think Emperor's found anymore in rogue decks anymore, so that's an extra slot, I guess. But yeah,
Emperor's
no
actually
healing against a
useful.
hunter is pretty brutal.
Yeah. It's either less clears or no healing, and both of those options are bad.
It's Freezing Trap, and it isn't face.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
Well,
it is
it's-
face, but it's not quite face.
Yeah, the Shredder basically tells us that it's a hybrid hunter instead.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be pretty happy about that. The deckhand
Yeah.
might even trigger a second freezing trap down the line.
Might also kill a cop later.
Oh yeah, with oil.
Yeah, it's been known to do that.
Now, this is the worst. Violet Teacher and Unleash was picked up by Ekop.
I mean, there really isn't much that you can do in this situation. I think you just play out your cards, hero power every turn, and hope for the best from this point on. He's got Vile Teacher, you got Unleash. Things can go badly for the rogue in this situation.
Actually, Xixo might be tempted to think that this is freezing trap, right?
And then he's going to throw the South
Might
Sea
waste his
deckhand, and it's
turn.
going to backfire
Yeah.
completely.
I think
Oh,
that
wow.
might be a possible scenario.
This would be so crushing. Because I think that's the point where he just can't swing back in the game. Because he'll be way too far behind.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's not doing that. Okay. Interesting. Just spawn some
Xixo.
dudes.
I am ready to learn.
Well, he still doesn't think it's explosive. He's probably just not going to attack here. Because you wouldn't spawn all the dudes first.
Scavenging hyena, let it
Exactly.
be real. Oh, no.
No. Oh wow.
Wow, that is crazy.
That is
Xixo
very
knows.
on point. But does that even matter? Because there's so
And
much
Ekop doesn't
damage on
care.
their side. Yeah, exactly.
Like, Xixo knows, and Ekop
Yeah.
doesn't care. It's
Oh,
one of those
it's still face.
situations. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be very surprised if these don't all go face.
What do you think about the option to kill command?
No. Kill
I
command
guess
is
the
just
weaving
for
in the
free
hero
damage.
powers.
Yeah, the hero powers are nice, but you're still gonna look for that beast, then you want to empty your hand really soon for quick shot.
Well,
So
kill command
ultimately,
now
it adds
and
up
kill
to the same
command.
thing.
Yeah, kill command later is as the same thing because you missed the hero power.
Right,
So it's
right.
just 3 damage deal 3. Oh, there's the heal. Oh, perfect.
That's exactly what I was looking for. I mean, there's probably no other card in this deck that heals him. We haven't seen Farseers. It seemed like a more aggressive deck with a double auto barber. So this heal bot is probably like his salvation. I can't really think.
Ooh, just gonna go into damage, huh?
Yeah, I think he's gonna do a deckhand and then SI down the dog.
Okay, that does give you the
Yeah, you
most amount
likely
of chance
don't
to win, I
die.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if you play Healbot now, it's the same as playing Healbot the next turn. But one
Well,
damage.
Is it? No. If there's another quick shot off the top here, that would
Yeah.
not be the same.
But 1 damage off lethal, and that is
Nope.
still 1 damage off lethal, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's actually 1 mana off lethal this time.
Oh, 1
Yeah.
mana off or 1 damage off. Like, however way you want to put it.
Now Xixo, what is he even looking for?
What is he looking for?
A shadow step.
That would be pretty sick, actually.
I think I like the quick shot face here.
Utilize your mana a bit better. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So if you target the other kill command, you can at least heal power after it, instead of being stuck with another 2-cost ability.
Oh, oil is pretty good. You might be able to set up a 2-turn lethal now.
Well, you absolutely have to heal.
I guess Barber is the card that gives you the most damage, so you just play Barber. You already see Unleashed, so just, go for it.
Actually, if you play the barber and the unleash comes out, you're dead.
No, you can't play around Unleashed anymore. You need to set up for a lethal next turn, and I
Right.
think you need to play the Barber in this case, because it just pushes the most damage.
You're dead to unleash no matter what.
Oh, he's gonna re-dagger.
Really, I'm counting 8.
Well, I mean, if you have something in hand, it does 1 damage at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
Is this the card? No!
Oh, that is not the
That
card.
is
It
not the
actually
card.
deals 0 damage. Or actually -1 even.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Actually, there's a chance Xixo just takes this, just because that top deck for ECOP was so horrendous.
Wait, no, 6-0 just wins, right? You can just Barber
Yeah,
and...
he's got it.
and-
Barber, oil, and I think that's it.
Oh, actually no, he has to
No,
not
he can-
bounce
he has
on
to
the
kill.
Barber.
He has to kill command the creature.
Oh, but are you gonna do that?
I would. When the opponent's on 4 health, I think you can actually...
Yeah, you have lethal
see
next
it
turn with
come.
Blade Zuka anyway. So
That's
of course you
true.
do
That is really true, and there are no taunts that Rose can actually play, so... Kill command is actually very important here.
And
Yeah, caught?
well
Okay.
played! Now, no
So
weapon
now-
because Harrison Jones, right?
So now what do we need? We need, like, preparation or something? Or, no?
Well, 3 plus... Oh,
Oh,
2 plus 6. Oh,
That's good!
that's enough.
That's good! Oh, man.
That lets you combo it, which
Yeah.
is really the most important thing.
And that is game for Xixo. That's actually really crazy. He was just about to lose, and then the heal bot comes off the top, plays it a bit later, and ECOP can't find 1 damage. I can't even believe this. This was way too close for my taste.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Xixo still had to get lucky there. Like, he didn't need to top deck, I think. Because
Well,
he
didn't
could have
need
just...
to?
He could have barbered and then oil and then barber again.
But if it
he has
didn't
to
work
win.
out...
Yeah, he has to win a 66%
Yeah.
Yep.
for lethal. So he still need to get a little lucky to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the luck certainly wasn't with ECOP that time. But I mean, if you weigh in both the games that he's played so far in the tournament, I think he's on par in the RNG.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing just fine, I'd say,
Yeah.
RNG wise. And the thing is, like now they've got information about his hunter deck. They know it's not going to be full on mid range, and they know there's 1 explosive, 1 freezing. Xixo seems to know that was the
Xixo
case.
knew that already, man. Like,
Yeah,
that's
somehow.
not information.
Right.
But now
Yeah.
to confirm that information is much bigger. We know that, especially if you play Snake Trap, once you reveal that information, you lose with Hunter. It's just like you're such a big handicap because they're gonna play around it all day. But looking at the matchups again, so Team Archon with 1 win each, that's gonna help a lot with the matchups. Like I said before, you can play around pretty much the most amount of matchups. and the bench rule is not really going to affect you too much. Cloud9, they need to figure something out. They lost 3 games in a row.
Yeah, the bench rule is in effect right now still for Strifecro. If he plays and loses, he is benched.
Oh no, it's not, because it's 2 in a row, right? Ekop just played.
I thought it resets when someone on your team wins. That hasn't happened.
Oh no, it's 2 in a row. So if
just 2
Ekop
in a
plays
row?
again, then it's like Which
Okay.
the rule is just to let players like alternate their players.
Yeah, cycle
not just-
through.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's it. That's all.
Okay, so the bench rule can only affect Ekop if he plays Hunter again.
Yep.
Probably won't see that then, but that seems fair. Quite a few options still on the table here.
Yeah, I would think that Paladin is actually a fine choice. It does seem like it lines up the most against, say, Handlock. I'm expecting Firebat to play. Zalae's Hunter
true.
and Shaman. So
Yeah, I think the favorite against the Shaman is the Paladin. I think the favorite against the Hunter is probably the Paladin.
This is looking great from this perspective. Now that you mention it,
So do you throw out the Handlock from Firebat? It probably has the best chance, even though I think it's not favored against the Paladin.
oh wow, it's actually quite different. Ekop's gonna go in again, and once again the bench rule is in effect.
Is that like a double mind games? Like
Double mind
Paladin's so good that Firebat has to play Warlock because it's the least terrible matchup. So you play Hunter to beat the Handlock, so your Paladin can beat the other 2 decks.
I think that was the mind games that
That
went
would be
through.
good.
Yeah.
Crip, are you on Cloud9? Are you their
Yeah, I'm
analysis person? Because I think that's what they're doing.
I'm your analysis person for this tournament. So
That's
yeah.
true. Okay, they're doing your job. Very nice.
Yes.
But Hunter against Warlock, we know that it's just really good for Hunter. Whatever it is, but I guess face Hunter against Handlock is kind of
It's kind of
Not-
weak-ish these days, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
a
that-
little less consistent than it used to be. I think mid-range is maybe a bit better against Handlock than... It used to be the case that Face Hunter was just straight up better, but
Yep.
things have changed a bit.
And why is that? That's interesting. Like, is it because of like the inclusion of anti-heal bot? But that's like ages ago, isn't it?
Well, I think it changed ages ago. Like
Okay.
back when that happened. I think that's basically when Healbot came in. Like Handlock was on the verge of being useless, and then Healbot came in and it kind of gave the deck another life.
Oh no, but let's scrap that. It's actually Zoo
It's the
against
Zoo.
Face Hunter. Oh man, you gotta feel bad if you're the Zoo player right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Zoo is probably still the best choice against the Paladin.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
the Hunter is still the best choice.
Starts
against-
against the Zoo.
true. Oh man, okay. Oh, here we go.
So it's funny because Firebat last week, we were thinking, oh, he's gonna bring Zoo. He always brings Zoo. Firebat always plays Zoo, and then he came out with Handlock, and we were just completely taken off guard. And at this point, I didn't even know what he was gonna bring. You said you pinned him on Handlock,
I pinned him Handlock to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but here we go.
went back to old
It's-
habits.
But it's gonna be really difficult for the Zoo to actually grab a win here in Face Hunter because Flame Imp still damage to yourself. Most of your minions only have 2 health. They all die to explosive. The only 2 ways you can win is like cheesing something out with Void Callers like into Malgans or Doomguard or stuff like that, or make a very big Void Terror with Power Woman. That's really the only choices you have.
Yeah, he's got to pick up the Void Card in the first place. And the
No!
hand from Ekop is so sick, it's not even funny.
That is so disgusting.
That is pretty good draw there.
That's a juggler into 2 free juggles into a huffer. Guaranteed.
But he
Oh,
doesn't
it's
go
gonna.
for it.
Well, it's Knife Juggler Unleash, right? That's the
Yeah, he wants to save
sick
the combo.
combo as well.
Ah,
This
he
one them.
does have the Void Caller.
A little bit of light.
correct.
Oh.
You wanted those cards in exact opposite order.
Yeah, Gangbot top deck, Void Caller afterwards, and then you were in for the win,
Yeah.
basically. You're right,
Oh,
Crit.
no.
When is
no.
it not?
Oh.
Implosion
back.
scenes, right?
Yeah, you play Implosion, and then your opponent just, sets a bow or something.
Or
and
you
then...
kill the 1/1 and you buff up your 2 2/2s.
Oh! That's kind of a...
Well, your 2 1/1s into 2 2/2s, of course.
That's kind of a cute move.
It's a cute move. Okay, so you basically, it's not a good move.
No.
Oh,
Cute-
sometimes cute is good.
Yeah.
Rarely, but sometimes it's good.
Usually the cute play is one that you go for when you're really, really about to die. And, like, completely screwed.
Yeah. Well, in this
Oh,
case,
what's
it's
that?
actually not that bad.
Is that 6 damage unleash? It looks like 6 damage unleash.
Nah, yeah, you have to wait one turn, and then you get 12 damage unleash.
The next level play is gonna be like Firebat gets a explosive trap and deliberately clears his own board on it, right? That's the next level play.
Of course, to deny the value.
Oh, do you void call it and just power warming the void caller here?
No. Oh my god.
No,
What,
just
what about Hunter's Mark? Well, it wouldn't show up. What about Army Cowl, right?
no. Just
No,
do it.
no, okay.
That's like the only chance you can win, right? So.
Well,
you know.
Amos, yesterday you said tomorrow.
Oh. God damn it. Okay, I would just do it. That's like the only way to win.
Well, that's
I
okay.
don't hate it.
Your imps become immune to knife juggles as well, right? That's pretty good.
I guess you
Or you get a flame imp. Yeah.
No. Oh no. You're gonna nuke yourself for 3 here. Oh.
that's possibly a good game, by the way.
You don't want to
That
nuke
is
yourself.
possibly
You
GG.
start bomb yourself. Oh man.
It's actually like not even that unlikely that it's good game here, right?
The funny thing is,
Like
if
just
it
three
works,
face juggles, and
Three
it's
face
over
juggle.
now.
It's pretty decent chance.
it was
Alright.
freezing. Okay.
The first one.
Nope,
No.
nope.
He's just
clear,
sniping them in
it's
order,
so-
man.
Oh.
Yep. Oh no, it can't happen anymore.
No, it's okay.
So what's
Wait.
interesting is Firebat can still win this game. Wow, those were really good juggles at the end for Firebat. Because right now he's guaranteed to get Mal'Ganis off the Void Caller, right?
Nope.
What?
Yeah.
Well, if he
you can
plays
put
the
it-
Imp Gang boss, yeah.
Yeah. But you kind of want to establish the Argus too, right? Because so you can protect your Mal'Ganis after you play Argus. So that if they silence or something, you know, you still have like double the taunt or something. I don't know.
So do you gamble it?
I don't know. I feel like if you're the zoo player against
Have to
Face Hunts,
freeze it.
you have to gamble somewhere. At some point, you have to gamble. Doesn't matter.
Oh
where.
my god, E-Cup might actually lose this.
Oh no! If you freeze the demon, it also is a demon.
Well, oh my god.
That's true.
It's terrible.
But you
Oh
can't
my-
play it. You can play it.
You can play for.
Kind of screwing things up a little bit. It's probably better to have 3 players with 1 win apiece than 1 player with no wins and 1 player with 1 win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that over the weeks as it happened, and it was so easier to target people. The thing is, this is mostly a matter for game wins, you know, trying to get a tiebreaker score as high as you want. But like when it comes to winning the entire match, it obviously matters a bit less, unless you've got really polarized matchups.
Well, we do have some pretty good matchups. I feel like Strifecro's decks just kind of work against everything right now.
But yeah,
I mean-
Strifecro's Freeze Mage is not that good against Shaman or Warlock, but it's against Hunter. But against the Zoo is really strong, obviously. I
Yeah.
think the weak link for Cloud9 is just the Priest right now. That's just kind of bad against everything except for the Zoo lock where you can Arcanine Circle, or I guess the Shaman as well, where you can Arcanine Circle. But have we even seen a Circle?
I was gonna say, I think he's running a version
Yes.
without them. Have we
No.
seen?
We did see Circle. Yeah, we did see
We saw Circle with
on
Injured,
the Belcher and Injured Blade Master. So
We
Yeah,
saw the
yeah,
Arcanite
yeah.
top deck.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Okay.
Kolento is running combo. He's also running Cabals. I think that even puts him in maybe a favorable matchup against the Hunter if he also has a Holy Fire.
I don't think that's too many cards, right? There's probably no Holy Fire. He runs Death Lord and Valence and double Valence, right?
And Belcher.
And that's way too many. There's probably even no Shadow Madness, to be honest.
Okay.
There was one.
No,
Shadow
there was a
Madness.
Shadow Madness. There was a very sad Shadow Madness. Was that was that in the earlier match?
Wait, was that in the first series?
Yeah, it may have
That
been.
was the sad one.
May have been.
No, that was against Shocky. This is another.
No, Silence Stone.
time.
This is different. This is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, that was the saddest Shadow Madness I've ever seen. it was a Shadow Madness that was strictly worse than Holy Smite.
Yeah.
It was worse than Moonfire. Let's just put it that way. It was worse than Moonfire.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Priest cards, right? What can you say? But I would expect Strifecro's Paladin to come up now, I guess. It just has the most favorable matchups.
Yeah. I think think possibly the best deck overall against like the whole field is probably Xixo's Shaman at this point. It's like pretty good against everything if it draws decently.
Oh man, another great matchup for Cloud9.
It's another like double bamboozle, man.
Oh, bamboozle. I like how you said that word.
It's like Paladin is like easily the best choice.
Uh-huh.
And then their best matchup for Paladin is like the Zoo Warlock, I feel.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
then
just did it again.
switches it up and like counters the counter again.
Do you really think that Cloud9 is thinking that, or did they just roll a dice?
They
Because
might
that's
have
what they
done
should-
it either way.
If we
And-
interview them, I'm sure they're gonna take credit for it. So
Oh, of course you do. I mean, it's gonna make you so much better.
yeah, we're Cloud9. We know everything. Yeah.
Mhm. Being a master dice roller doesn't sound that good, you know. But
Well, it's
Well-
working really well if that's the case.
mhm.
Once in a while it'll work well. Other times you'll go 6-1.
Anyways,
1-6
yeah,
rather.
yeah. Back to this matchup again. It's kind of like the same thing as Face Hunter, right? You need to either establish something insane with Void Callers and Mal'Ganis, or you need to make a big Void Terror before your board gets frozen. It's even worse if Firebat doesn't play any Owls to, deal with the Doomsayers. So, but it's a little bit better if he has Lotheb. So I guess there are some tech cards, but overall, it's just once again such a big favor to the mage.
Yeah, the Zoo Warlock, I think at one point, like a year ago, was actually really good against Freeze Mage. Just because like the Zoo back then was more aggressive, but Zoo these days is just like far more sticky minions. And while the
Yeah.
sticky minions work against basically every other deck, against the Freeze Mage, it just means turns and mana crystals, which is the win condition.
Yeah. You're just giving them, like, it doesn't do nearly as much as it used to. But then again, it's like, even the super aggressive decks that are played nowadays, because Healbot exists, it's giving the mage a total of 24 extra health with the 2 ice barriers and the Healbot. So even nowadays, if that Zoo deck were to come back, I'm not sure if it would work as well as it used to. But yeah, it was a weak spot for Freeze Mage for a bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there's a Freeze Mage involved. I'm happy.
Well, I guess we don't
Thing
really
is-
know for sure is this a Freeze Mage or not. Like Strifecro played a lot of
No, we do.
triple mage and
He just
wait.
he
Yeah,
just
we saw
got
him
Shrek-
earlier.
Oh, yeah, we
just
did.
got
With the
Shrek
patient
Freeze
warrior.
Mage earlier.
Yeah, with the patient game. God damn it. All right. Well.
Yeah, the 30-minute Freeze Mage game.
I think this matchup puts Cloud9 in such a dominant position because, like, okay, on one end the mage is really likely to win. We already established that. But if the mage does win, Firebat is benched, which makes Strifecro's Paladin have like extremely good matchups.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think like paladins are actually pretty decent against Zoo. Like you would think about maybe playing paladin if the
Yeah.
ladder is full of Zoo too. So
Yeah, I think it's fine,
I
but
think
there
the
are
Shaman
better
does-
matchups.
I think the Shaman does slightly better than the Zoo, actually. You're right, but still.
whoa, Strifecro has changed quite a bit, huh?
Man, he lost all his hair. Poor guy. I didn't know that mage loss was that devastating. Oh, there he goes.
Okay.
All right.
No.
He's
He's
back.
actually in like out of his place right now, so he actually can't
Yeah.
play cam. So
All right. Well, both players are pretty good openers, but the Warlock's truly exceptional in this case.
oh,
Holy cow.
that's
This just got crazy.
It's got really real.
a little
Wow.
bit of light for the Zulok in such a bad matchup.
It's like my favorite combo ever. And the best part is like it happens all the time in like every game mode. Like in like Tavern Brawls and Constructed and Arena, it's just a feel-good feeling everywhere.
For the Zulok player, right?
For just Warlock in general, Power of Will
Yeah.
and Void Terror, just the most feel-good combo, easily accessible. It's just sometimes I feel players do like a tempo Void Terror, and I don't even want to watch anymore.
Oh,
You're
wow.
like, Void Terror for for nothing.
Oh,
You're like, why don't you
no.
just concede and stop playing, please?
Yeah.
It's a 3-mana 3/3, right? It's like an outdoor peacekeeper that lost this effect. Sometimes you play naked outdoors.
Yeah,
No.
but you couldn't eat up like a +4/+4 buff with Aldor.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he
look
might
at
do
here. Like, do you
Might do
actually
it.
play Void Terror here?
Oh, he might. Oh my god.
Right? Like, it's establishing, right, Crip? You know the established. No.
Combo.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
And there he just power overwhelms the imp and goes face.
man.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do
it's probably
it,
not
Firebat.
happening.
This will be
Yeah.
the first time we've seen that.
Oh.
Oh man, Firebat picks up 16 extra health. He's got the heal
Wow.
bot and the blizzard.
Actually, that sequencing by Firebat led to Strifecro drawing the second ice barrier before forcing the ice block. So
Ooh.
that's very
That's-
good technical play that I think a lot of people
That's-
overlook.
Interesting.
I mean, I think we overlooked it too. I think you're the only one who pointed that out. So.
Yeah,
Oh, Krip, you're a good ranked player, man. Good ranked player.
you gotta yank those secrets out of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that's a very sad turn.
Okay. Well, you removed 3 damage off the board. I think it's perfectly fine. But here, like.
Yes,
Oh man. Here's an
8-8.
That's
Like what even kills that? There's nothing that kills that.
okay. Well, we can stall, right? You know, just Frost Nova, Freeze. You know. I guess you can stall
Crossover,
this turn.
Doomsayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
Blizzard's coming next turn, but there we go. That's
That'll
pretty
stop
good.
it for a bit.
that's still nothing. That's just game. That's a healing touch right now. That's literally a healing touch.
I would play a 2-mana healing touch in Freeze Mage.
Well, it's kind of like a 3-mana healing touch because you'd probably have to ping use that.
Oh, he's not using it. Oh man, what if Firebat plays Lothep here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
sure,
is gonna be
fine,
really
sure.
devastating for Strifecro. That Lothep is like a snap play, almost. I think.
Yeah, it seems like that's the place.
Oh man, what a crazy turn for Firebat.
Oh my god.
The heal bot's coming out pretty much every single time.
I mean, anything that happens after the ice block goes down, it just gets wrecked by Doomguard. So there's like no way Strifecro can win here. There's just absolutely no way.
Well, this is gonna be pretty difficult. I guess you just play anti-heal bot just for the heal. But your block is gonna get popped anyways next turn, it seems like.
No, it won't. Actually, I like the heal bot.
Yeah, I mean that's really your only play. I don't think you have
Yeah.
like any other choice.
Well, your other choice is to Doomsayer.
Perhaps.
No,
But It's a bit passive, but
if you
mean,
Doomsayer, like abusive actually wrecks you so hard.
I think if you Doomsayer,
Does
with
it?
the upside is you can always Ice Barrier heal bot on the back of it over the next few turns, and you should be able to stay alive because of that. So it's healing you for 7, and the Ice Barriers will, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
I approve of this.
Of course you
whoa.
do.
Whoa, wait, what?
Going full face.
You want to
He
want
wants
to
to
just spawn
threaten
a
it.
4/4. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That makes a lot of sense.
You could even drop the Tempo Void Caller if you really want. I like it. Add Tempo Void Caller. Gimme.
Oh, that makes Void Caller. Well, actually, Egg is just better, right? Isn't
Egg is better,
strictly
but he had the option to Egg and Void Caller before
Okay.
tapping.
Just put 2 creatures on the board, I guess. Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Man, the amount of health that Strifecro's got on the back of this.
It's okay. Like the Doomsayer play worked out. I don't know about well, but like within an acceptable range.
Yeah, but I think Strifecro's in actually a pretty good spot here. Like, it sounds ridiculous to say, but with the double Ice Barrier and the ability to stall a bit more, and the possibility of Blizzard Doomsayer again with a heal bot, it's kind of like he's got 24 extra health that he just hasn't played yet.
Well, I think it's going to be Healbot Frostbolt here. I mean, I just don't see any other play. I
Yeah,
guess-
you
I
die
guess
to very few
heal-
things.
Healbot Doomsayer might be a play, but that seems pretty risky.
Well,
That
you're
seems
forced to
senselessly
yeah.
slow down,
risky,
actually.
senselessly risky. No, because then you die to like a pump and the Doomguard, which isn't that unlikely.
Nope.
I think it has to be
Healbot.
Healbot Frostbolt.
Okay,
Yeah.
just to stop potential damage. I guess you really can't really deal, 11 damage with 7 mana as a Zulok?
Well, you could abusive Doomguard.
Yes,
and
you
you'd
can.
be
You can Doomguard and get 2 power whelms, right?
That's true. But
Or
then
yeah,
you
abusive.
lose your
Right,
whole
you're
hand.
abused power whelm, so you'd need
Yeah.
a Doomguard and then not discard abusive and power whelm. Yeah, Noxious is right.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a real way out of that, which is hilarious.
Well, Voiter actually buffs it up so that, you know, it's out of Flame Strike range,
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
So that's
It's got a
pretty good.
huge attack.
right?
Yeah, very nice indeed.
Now Strifecro is kind of stable.
Yeah, stabilize a bit. You have Fireball. You don't actually have a secret up right now. I think that's just
Yeah.
like an overlay kind of thing.
I don't think this is a very good Blizzard. I think you have to just Fireball here.
Yep, Fireball.
Yeah,
seems
Fireball
good.
Ice Barrier is pretty solid. I mean, you're getting you need that time. I think you're looking for the time to play those cards, and this is one of those turns where you've got very little else to do. I guess.
Whoa.
I'm surprised. I guess he's trying to force his opponent to.
Yeah, but
What?
if this gets silenced, you're in really bad shape.
Yeah, I'm actually
Yeah.
really surprised by that. Like very. Oh man, Void Caller could almost be played.
I
Well,
think you play the
yeah.
Void Caller now.
Yeah.
I think you have to. Even though it might end up really
I think
bad.
you tap. I think you just tap. See what you get.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Flame Imp again.
There
Oh
you
my
go!
god!
Bam! There you go.
Wow,
Esports.
Okay, very good play. Okay.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
no reason not to tap, but it's just so. Oh man,
Came out.
Presents?
Oh.
All right, not too bad.
I'm really
Yeah, but now
surprised
what?
Strifecro.
Now what do you do, right? Like, what was that? That Blizzard sucked.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he played that Blizzard. I'm a little confused as well, Crip.
Maybe draw a second one, right?
Well, he better.
Well, the question is whether or not it's consistent with his previous game plan.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, does he have like near lethal with Blood Mage and all this? I think he just.
Oh yeah, he actually might just kill off Firebat next turn. But can he survive this turn? I guess he can. Just Ice Barrier.
Right now he's dead unless he. Oh, he plays. Yeah, he plays the Ice Barrier. Yeah.
And the other one, Mal'Ganis gets played, and then a lot of damage comes in.
So you do Ice Barrier and then Frostbolt Iceland's face.
Yeah, it sets up
Oh.
the Blood Mage double Fireball for lethal.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only way you're gonna win. But now, Firebat playing Mal'Ganis into this. I mean, he's gonna be really, really cautious seeing the full phase damage from Strifecro.
Whoa. Hello.
Okay. But no, Morganis has to come down here. So. Yeah,
That's-
it seems like Firebat's gonna buy himself one extra turn with the Morganis.
Yeah, forcing the Blood Mage out, and then the thing is, the other Fireball will probably go phase.
Ooh, Frost Nova. What happens if we Antonitis Frost Nova here?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, this is actually almost.
The Doomguard can kill it though.
Doomguard does kill it, actually. That's pretty cool.
Wow. No, you have to Blood Mage, right? You have to Blood Mage Fireball, Mal'Ganis, and
Okay.
then pick your next play. Whether it's Fireball phase for 7 and hope he doesn't draw into another.
I like
Five?
the
No.
It's
You
not
don't do-
happening. You have to Nova
no.
almost,
You
or
have
Ice
to-
Barrier.
I like the Nova.
I like Barrier's fine too, right? 11.
Yeah,
plus 8.
maybe Ice Barrier is better because then you can play Archmage and Nova.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, maybe this is the turn.
Yeah,
so
barrier,
Blood Mage,
barrier
Fireball,
is-
Barrier.
Yep.
Let's do
Oh.
this.
I agree.
Is he gonna be greedy? No.
Nice.
And now, what does Firebat do?
Question.
Well, Firebat might think that's Ice Block, so he might just go for it.
Oh, that might be true. And actually, if he does go for it, he can top deck something like Bane of Doom and win the game, right?
That's amusing.
Yeah. Possible.
Well, you'd have to wait at least
Yes.
one turn, right?
Well, you just can't play the. Okay, you can't play the Sea Giant, obviously.
Well, you could
And
go.
that means you can't play the Flame Imp as well. Flame Imp, it
Think-
bursts plus your face as well.
I
Actually,
play
you
Sea Giant
just
here.
play everything except. Actually, no. I think you don't play the Flame. Flame is too much damage.
Okay, so here we go. Popping the block, or so you think, and.
Why not attack first with the 4?
To check.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because having known this, maybe he would have decided to play.
Sea Giant, I think, is better than the Doomguard.
Yeah,
Oh,
by a
it would
long
have been.
shot.
Yeah, that would have been actually way better, to be honest. Oh wow, just going all first. Okay.
And now he just loses for sure, right?
Yes.
no,
No, actually,
well-
Bane of Doom does save him, right? If he plays that card. So just an easy, very easy Antinous Frost Nova here.
Okay.
So you're looking for Iron Beak Owl, life tap, overwhelming.
That's one way. Bane of Doom is another way. What is this one? Not quite. Oh!
That's
That
not
is
enough.
not enough.
No,
Oh,
it's
actually?
not enough.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Is it? No, it's
No.
not. Because he tapped, you just have double fireball.
Yeah.
Even with a sweet juggle.
Well, Freeze Mage
Oh,
still
that's
takes it.
Sea Giant would have won the game.
Oh, wait.
Maybe?
Would it have? No, you actually can't really kill the Antinetus either. Right?
Well, with Sea Giant, I guess you might have.
Hmm. Well, with Sea Giant, you would have had the Doom Guard.
Yeah, you would have been able to play the Doom Guard afterwards. Even yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, you don't
It's actually
tap
really
anymore, but it
Right.
can't. Like, I don't think you can. It was a very bad position to be in the first place, I guess. But
Yeah.
attack with 4/4. I mean, if you're gonna do that anyways, you should just attack first.
tough. Right.
And
Well,
the situation.
Cloud9 gets the win with the Freeze Mage. I mean, Strifecro probably did this pretty well. I mean, we know it's a pretty one-sided matchup from the Mage's perspective. So again, it's all about that Priest and Paladin from Cloud9. I wonder, like we've talked about the matchups, I think mid-range Paladin just has a pretty easy time of all of those.
Yeah, I think the easiest is probably the Hunter if it's a mid-range. Just because you just don't get whittled down if you have enough healing, and you usually do, because that's kind of the point of making that deck. I think the inconsistency can lose against the decent draw from the Shaman, and I think it's just okay against Zulok as well.
Right. I mean, it's not as though, like, I think Mech Shaman might even be more
Benched.
inconsistent than you are. So.
Ooh, ouch.
The bench stamp.
Black. Yeah, Firebat losing 2 games in a row means that
We
he
need-
cannot play Zulok this game.
We need an
But does
animation for that. We need like a hairy hand with like a stamp, you know?
Oh,
Bam!
just like,
And a screen shake.
wow.
Okay, that's asking too much.
That is brutal, man. That-
I was like, you're rendering a video just for that specific moment.
Yeah.
Although you could have it probably with transparency, so it'd be
we
nice.
can't do that because this is not pre-recorded, right?
Right, it's not pre-recorded. Shoe on head.
Okay. But, like, even though Firebat's Zulok got benched, is it really that big of advantage for Cloud9 to know that? Like, not really, right?
It's all about the mind games again, you know, like if they want the game points, so they think, oh, well, it's not going to be Zulok, so I want to beat Shaman, Hunter, what do I bring out? Well, if you want to take the risk of maybe getting the Hunter, you could play Priest, and that could be like a decent matchup.
Yeah.
But then again, you might also wait for Firebat to play Zoo. So, like the guaranteed win, quote unquote, is kind of Strifecro queuing into this.
Yeah, but I think it doesn't matter too much. I think if you just look at all the decks involved in this match still, you have 2 decks that counter aggro decks on one side, and you have 3 aggro decks on the other side.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Makes sense like that, yeah.
So even if things go badly in terms of the matchups, I think Cloud9 is in a pretty dominant position.
Well, the Hunter could be mid-range, right? It doesn't have to be aggro, but I guess all Hunters are aggressive, so...
I think
They
actually,
can play
aggro Hunter does walk over Pally a lot of the time. I think mid range is bad.
Yeah, you just get your high main outdoored, you know, and then
Yeah,
they
exactly.
just tear in and you have no answer usually, so yeah, makes sense. I would personally think that Strifecro is gonna play as Paladin, so the Priest actually has the most chances to pick up a win. And then, you know, Xixo's gonna go with Shaman. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
kinda
think
close,
I think this is the best case for Archon. I think the Shaman is the best answer. The Paladin, but both these decks are inconsistent in the early game, and the Shaman wins in the early game. So if the Shaman gets a little lucky here, it might be a brutal slaying of Strifecro.
Yeah, there is actually no counter to a coin mech warper from the Shaman side, from the Paladin side.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to kind of
when you
say,
when you do
say
that,
that.
yeah, you just have to like, oh, okay, cross your fingers, no double we, you know, that would be bad.
Yeah. In general, just like, you know, the mech warper
Anything.
like machine gun thing
Yeah.
just like wins by itself. Often Consecrate is actually too slow against that. So it's really on the Shaman to draw well.
When you say
if the Shaman draws well, it's unlikely the Paladin can really stop it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way. Like, I think Mech Shaman is by default one of the decks that when it draws well, you can't stop no matter what deck you're playing. I think it's like it's very unlikely you can deal with Cogmaster into an Oiltron into Zapomatic or whatever. Like, however you want to look at it. Once they curve, eventually they're gonna outfight you. But that Paladin hand, Strifecro wins. Finish him. I like it all.
Oh my god, that is a hand.
So how much salt do we bet Xixo is going to have come out of his mouth right now? Well met.
Well met.
Yeah. Well, it's not that bad because Power Mace, right?
No, it's bad.
That bad. It's not.
No,
that
it's
bad.
great. You play Power
Oh.
Mace, you kill one, and then on turn 4 you play a Yeti for a 6/7. That's great.
Okay. I mean, it's something.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, you
You're not helping him out.
I mean, come on.
can't-
It's pretty terrible.
you can't expect to start winning on turn 4 when one deck controls and heals and yours just bursts down. Like, that's the main issue.
I think you dodge Equality, Aldor Peacekeeper, and you can win this just on the back of the Yeti.
You're right. It's
Yeah.
possible.
It's always possible.
Reporting for duty.
Man, Crypt just loves seeing people get punished.
Well, just see this. Like, what if an Oiltron comes out of the top deck?
No. Well, I guess the 6/7 is fine. Okay, putting a Bodafist Ogre at turn 4 and removing 2 minions. Not a bad opening.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have said that Xixo's hand was terrible, and then the 2 zombie chows come up, and they make that a lot less clunky than it would have been otherwise.
I think I like the Argus here over the True Silver.
Agreed.
It's gonna get a little punished though. With
All
the-
you're really doing is slowing down the game. The problem with this Shaman deck is that if it runs out of cards and doesn't kill you, which often is exactly what it does, then it loses.
Well,
Well,
actually, there's a really good moment for Xixo. He's got the opportunity to try to turn the game around. The question is, like, if he's gonna be greedy and try to just put stuff down now, or wait until Power Mace is exhausted and charge or another.
Oh no, I like this. Oh no,
Yeah.
no Power Mace. No Power
This
Mace.
is what-
Power Mace. You can Power Mace.
He has
No,
the
you
power.
play the Wind Fury garbage.
No. You
Oh.
definitely want 6 damage to the face. Are you?
Definitely
Yeah.
want 6 damage.
6 damage
But-
is basically the Wind Fury hitting the face, right?
Yeah,
then
but you
actually
develop
play
a board against no board.
Oh my god.
No, because like Strifecro didn't even have an answer to your 6/7. His best answer was Argus, whereas the best answer should have been Aldor. So if there's no Aldor, this 6/7 is gonna go in again, right? There's a very high percentage.
Okay.
But here, do we YOLO Crackle and actually like buff it to like a 8/9?
Oh man, this turn is so weird because like you could YOLO Crackle, but there could be a guaranteed trade with the Yeti, and you're only putting your minion on 4, and you've got the Zapomatic that's going to be potentially a 5/4.
Yeah, I just
Dependent.
like board development. Like if he
Yeah.
just attacks the Belcher, drops every single mech, but maybe not the Spider Tank to maybe increase his chances to spawn on the Wind Fury. They do Mech Warper and then Zapomatic, then hit the 1/2 and then drop the Spider Tank.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But my I just think that if you like board development, I don't think you should be playing Mech Shaman.
Oh,
Wow,
That's
this is
insane.
an insane.
needs equality.
outcome.
Quality instant win.
No,
Oh no,
this is
Like,
no, this
still
is
not
over.
bad.
But
Yeah.
What? This is terrible. You're dead next turn if you actually don't kill a minion, and if you kill a minion, you're dead next turn.
Are you? Wow, you are. No, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. You
Crackle
very
hits for a
much
minimum
are.
of 3. Yeah, you're dead.
Uh,
All right, so you have to True Silver then.
yeah, you
I
have to
didn't,
choose silver.
it's really funny how that hand from Xixo lined up perfectly against that from Strifecro. Because looking at Strifecro's initial hand, I couldn't imagine a win from the Shaman player.
Well,
Maybe I'm pessimistic like that. I couldn't see a win, and then somehow, the 2 Power Maces really gave him all the removal in the world, and that allowed him to develop a really nice board after he top decked the mechs he needed.
Well, and lava burst. Just end Strifecro's life here. Just end his misery.
well, even with Lava Burst, he has to roll high on a Crackle.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Gets decent minions, can vomit his entire hand, gets the spell damage. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think when you get spell damage, it's just time to Crackle.
Yeah, why not, right? What's the worst that could happen?
It's never gonna be better, right?
It is for
Never
7.
gonna be better. Almost.
Not bad.
It's pretty high.
Equality could save the
Yeah.
day.
It's equality or bust right now. It's like a 10% chance for strike. Oh my god!
my god!
Oh! Oh! Still alive?
Yeah, he
Yes.
gets to lay on hands next turn too.
Oh man, that's gross. That is so gross.
All right,
Just
so
when you it's over.
I think the play is to equality first. Have to like use your weapon here. You can use your weapon next turn.
Okay.
I think Dr. Boom is insane.
Okay. But sometimes you just gotta go YOLO, right?
No.
The only way to beat an aggro deck is to play aggressive yourself sometimes.
And I would not understand an attack here if you did it. 'Cause-
Last turn. If you didn't do last turn, why would you do it now?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
Like
the
now you're
heat-
actually safe.
Yeah.
Actually everything.
everything. Yeah.
Ragnaros doesn't even kill you.
Ooh, that might be a good pickup.
It's alright.
Top team would have been Jin there, I think.
Aldo or Healbot? Let's
Aldo,
do it.
yeah, just
Yeah.
get out of everything. Oh man, that equality changed the game completely.
I mean, the
10%,
double power
what was
mazes countered the double zombie chow and then got countered
But is it even
by
10%?
equality.
He had like 20 cards. Yeah.
Just
His
one
turn
equality
7.
joke, right?
Oh, no. I mean, his deck has so much healing. I wouldn't be surprised if there was 2 in there.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he had about 20 cards. So if it was 1, maybe it was 5%er.
Okay. Doomhammer might be good here. Oh.
That's not. That's like the worst thing.
This is what I hate about Mech Shaman, is that one card. Late game, the last thing I want to see is that. And now it looks like the game's going to go to Strifecro unless Xixo pulls off a miracle.
Oh my god.
Oh man, no, this is pretty over. I mean, come on.
Consecrate actually clears the board with the flip spare part. I'd just do
Yep.
that. Forget it.
Oh, just for the style points?
It removes that what if there's a bloodlust, you know?
Okay. And you can also play Blessing of Kings to put your opponent at a lower clock.
Blessing of Kings actually puts some lethal on next turn, so yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then.
And you have the owl for a taunt totem.
Oh man, you have all the answers. Oh,
Oh, that's the same as Kings, except it puts a minion on the board, right?
no, it's not.
You just don't deal the damage now.
Or
Well,
4. Yeah. No,
I
it
guess
is.
you might as well do Kings for now, because there's
You
no
have to
way
set up
you can
lethal.
do this.
Exactly.
Well, that lay on hands couldn't possibly feel good.
Oh, that lightning
Plus-
bolt. That's gonna stop lethal from coming. Oh man, Xixo's thrilled about that top deck. Oh no, he doesn't look very
No.
thrilled. Damn.
No.
I think you overestimated the thrill factor right there, Crib.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It's like prolonged suffering for Xixo right now.
Yeah. You know, they did make the wheel, they outlawed it, but we came up with Hearthstone as a replacement.
Yeah.
Well, Cloud9 is on match point. And Strifecro's gonna get a check mark, so it's only Kolento's priest left now. I think this is actually an even match now.
Well,
because the priest is still up.
the warlock is still benched. Does
Oh
that
yeah, that's
Right.
true.
does that make any difference?
No, it
It
doesn't.
does.
Oh, no,
when
it's not bench. It's not bench because you said whenever they switch, right?
No. Whenever they have to win a game, so it's 2 in a row, and then they have to win a game for them to be unbenched. So the Zulok's still benched.
He said no.
So
What?
the pre
No, it's like 2 in a row, not like 2 after a break. And once
Oh,
you
okay,
on the
okay.
bench,
All right.
then
right, right.
if someone wins a game, then yeah.
Right, yeah, okay, we got it. Well, we don't got it.
so Kolento basically Kolento can farm the hunter
Yeah.
and the shaman.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, again, I think the shaman is probably the best chance against the priest as well.
Yeah, that's what you guys said, and honestly, like maybe that's true. I haven't had enough of the matchup, I guess, to really make my mind up. But I'll believe on you. Believe in you.
Well, you basically replace Equality Consecrate with Arcanite Circle, except the thing is you probably would not keep Arcanite or Circle in your opening hand, whereas you might choose to keep like Consecrate.
Wait, no,
So-
you definitely keep Arcanite and keep Circle in your hand because that's the only way to win. So like,
You think
I
so?
would-
If you just get like Circle, you just keep Circle by itself?
yeah,
And
I would keep Circle by itself.
Just
Yeah.
because you really need that Alkanite top deck.
You just need to Flame Strike at 4. You really do.
Okay.
So, yeah. Plus,
Well,
you really don't
I'd be
play
really
much
interested
early
in that.
game, right?
He played a decent amount of early game. That's why there was so many things getting balanced.
That's true. You think? Oh yeah, Zombie Chow is in Kolento's priest deck, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. We saw it earlier, I think, at the beginning of the game.
Right, makes sense then. Okay, then maybe Kolento does play a lot early game with double Zombie Chow, double Northshire Click, double Pyromancer. So I guess if you're doing that, maybe you don't keep Circle. I'm not sure. I would personally keep Circle in my priest decks because I don't run Zombie Chow at all.
All right. So actually, if Xixo loses here, oh no, it's game over. It's not a double bench. Damn. Can we just double bench him anyway if Xixo
No,
loses?
it's technically yes. If Xixo loses, it's a double bench.
Yeah.
But then Cloud9 just wins, so it doesn't matter.
But it's a double bench.
Yes.
Oh man, just have to wait for that day where people get triple benched, right?
That's actually impossible.
It's possible.
6-0.
6-0, and then they triple bench and they
Yeah.
can't play any more games. Like,
So they lose, but they also lose their next match because they're not allowed to play.
they pretty much are super.
Well, the Rockbiter keep is pretty good because Kolento has a lot
wow.
of early game.
Xixo's hand is great.
Oh!
Never mind. Xixo's hand is garbage. This is another case of those, hey, both decks draw well, what do we do?
Yeah.
I still want to give the edge to the... Well, okay, never mind.
Oh my god.
Never mind. What I was gonna say something.
But you realize that, oh man, this is so good for the priest. Well, this is the last time you're ever gonna see a 3 million board.
Yep.
Okay, what needs to come out of this?
What needs to
The
come out?
shredder. The shredder. Like, what 2-drop are we looking for? Obviously, a
Hey,
mech. Whirling
I think
Zapomatic,
mech
right?
works.
Everything's half-o-matic, is it? Yeah.
Let it be real.
My new recipe.
No.
A little disappointing.
Exactly.
That must feel so bad. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
That's like... You lose most of your hand and all of your pressure.
Oh gosh. Alright, at least the Deathlord is gonna die. So what Xixo is looking for is a mech next turn. Oh wow, perfect card to fit in that one mana spell.
So the RG gods are just asking him what he wants.
he needs to find a mech here to come back in the game.
Nice.
Oh, okay, that's a mech.
Is it?
So yeah,
Great.
you just Rockbiter, kill this. Hopefully you put out a, I don't know, Leroy would be the best here, I guess.
Yeah, he's
Whoa.
going for the crackle. He wants the full clear here.
Can't
Not full
fault him for
clear.
that, but a really low roll. So he might have to use Rockbiter.
Well, yeah. Just use Rockbiter there and... Oh!
Never mind. He's just gonna keep the Rockbiter and have the Anoyatron be protected, but this Holy Nova is gonna hurt him a little.
Oh my god!
but the Holy Nova is gonna have something to say about that.
Yeah, it is.
Do you straight off the zombie chow now, or do you want to go for 3 damage to the face?
This is where you forget that you attacked already and you rock bite yourself.
No, no way. I mean, come on.
He doesn't have a weapon.
The weapon just went ring when it died, right?
Actually,
Yeah,
no,
of course.
Shadow Menace is better. Because Shadow Menace, you killed the 3/2, and you kill the other one for free, because he doesn't have a mech temporarily. Right?
Kinda.
Oh, so if that deck, and I recall it playing Doomhammer, if it plays Doomhammer, there's a good chance that Xixo could come back. All he needs is like Doomhammer into Earthshock,
Yeah.
and
All
that,
he
you know.
needs.
Well, you know, we've seen crazier things.
That's true. But it's still pretty brutal. This Melcher is gonna stop a lot of pressure. I think Xixo, definitely needs to find a Doomhammer right now, like this moment.
Yeah, this turn. Otherwise, it might just be too slow.
There are 2 copies of Doomhammer, I believe, in this Shaman deck.
Well, I guess Earthshock
I
would
don't
still
know.
be
I
okay,
keep
right?
I keep hearing about the cards in this Shaman deck. I don't know if we're talking about like the same
The
30
same
card
one?
Shaman deck.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
It got changed a while back. Felreaver
okay.
got cut, and then yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
good
just thought
totem.
about- That's okay.
Yeah, I think you have to rock bite or your Annoyatron though.
Okay, and you just lose to your Shadow Madness, I guess.
I don't think you bother to play around anything at this stage in the game. But yes, you would lose the Shadow Madness. You would get totally
Yeah,
wrecked.
but okay. So wouldn't it be better if you save your Rock Biters? And just like wait for the Doomhammer? No? Okay. Good talk.
Never
Okay.
mind.
Rip.
But I
A great card in other circumstances.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so I'm surprised Kolento's not going for the Cabal spell damage totem and just double bolt phase for like 10 with the Valence chosen.
No, he's going for the super
Oh!
draw. Super draw.
Oh, Doomhammer! What a perfect. Oh.
Amos with the hype, he's like, what a perfect. Oh, wait, there's a 412 on the board. I remember hearing about that.
Alright.
Thank you,
Man.
Amos.
Cloud9 seals the game with that insane equality top deck. Actually, I think
Yeah.
that was on the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cloud9, whether it was just extremely well planned mind games, the result of whatever happened was that they got crushingly good matches, and the RNG was also heavily in their favor. So not really much to do for Team Archon. They do slide down quite a few spots all the way to 5th after that. And Cloud9 is catching up to Nihilum. First 2 spots, I heard those are pretty important.
Yeah, those are. As first 2 spots basically guarantee you to the finale of ATLC and a chance to win your share of $250,000. Oh, baby. And of course, 3rd to 5th will have to fight for 2 positions, and the last person joining them will be the winner from 6th to 7th. And sadly, Celestial is going to be going to be last place no matter what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will have a what do they call it?
Consolation.
Consolation game next week for the already eliminated.
I hope they
Team
win. You know.
Yes.
I really hope for them that they win. I'm rooting for Team Celestial.
I hope they
next week.
win 6-0.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that
to
just
create
even
an
more
upset.
painful?
Full redemption. Full redemption.
Yeah.
Isn't that just more painful in the end, though?
Well, I mean, it might throw a team like even lower in the rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, just punish the other person. If we're gonna drop, we're gonna drag somebody else down, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But I think no, it's more based on the sportsmanship, right? You're just gonna want
Yeah.
to play the games. You know, we did invite you, so you know, and it's also a chance to showcase your play to like a lot of people.
Yep. And they certainly need to do that. All right. Well, it was a lot of fun, you guys. That is going to be all the games for today. We will have the rest of the teams play out this week's games tomorrow. I believe it's 1 p.m. EST. If you guys had fun watching today, make sure to check out the stream tomorrow. Thanks, Cass and Samaz. And just as we head out, we want to give the shout outs to the so gracious sponsors making the event happen. Of course, we have Alpha Draft and, of course, the Amazon App Store. I did talk about the promotion that Alpha Draft was running. We also have one from the Amazon App Store. The Amazon App Store is doing a Hearthstone promotion with a discount code, and you can enter to win 50% off 40 Hearthstone packs through teamarchon.com/Amazon. And you can visit amazon.com/Hearthstone for more information on the redemption. Good stuff.
Smooth.
Perfect.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's almost as if it was scripted. All right, guys, we got to go. Hope you guys did the stream. Check it out tomorrow.